This is Green Bay Game Night, powered by ESPN Wisconsin.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios in downtown Milwaukee, alongside Homer and Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
Here's Gabe Neitzel.
It is going to be a fun night. It is Green Bay Game Nights. I'm Gabe Neitzel, along with Steve the Homer True, the Packers Hall of Famer, the Super Bowl champion, Mark Tauscher. We won't be able to start the show the way we normally do. Tauscher is going to be joining us a little bit later, so we will not be able to begin with his opening statements.
He's on assignment, huh?
He is on assignment, but not for very long. So just inside, he's up at the game. So he's making his way to the Tundra Trio to do his portion of the post game. But I can give an opening statement.
Go for it.
This is a playoff team. Duh. The most obvious thing ever. And by the way, they are, I believe, the 6 or 7 seed right now as we stand here at 6-6. But you beat those two teams. You beat those two teams back-to-back weeks. It proves last week wasn't a fluke. It wasn't just, you happen to catch the Lions by surprise. You beat the world champions on national television in front of God and everybody. And the Green Bay Packers are now 6-6, and they got people believing in this team. They got people believing in Jordan Love. You said he's going to be a Packers Hall of Famer? Attaboy.
He already is.
Right?
He might put him in after this year.
Screw the extension. Doesn't need an extension when he's in the Packers Hall of Fame.
Gary Ellerson said it, Tim Van Vorn said it, maybe you said it, how much better the defense is when they're ahead.
Well, because, and Andy Reid, they still can't stop the run. All right,
I know.
I mean, we don't need to address that right now, but that's the reason why. Because I think they still average like 6 yards a carry tonight.
But when you get ahead,
teams don't want even smart teams like with Andy Reid don't want to run the football.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be able to throw the ball down the field, and that's just not the strength of this Kansas City Chiefs team. And when you get off to the fast starts that the Packers have gotten off to in recent weeks, since Jordan Love had and Matt LaFleur had the come together of, hey, you just got to sling it. You just got to start slinging it. Well, that's what he's done. He's had that confidence. He's had some balls go his way, like the 4th down play to Romeo Doubs. But it's 4th down. He's letting the guy go make a play. He's making a play himself. Yeah. He's showing that confidence in his offensive line and his receivers.
When there isn't pressure, he completes every pass.
Yeah.
And players, as we've said, and wonder, why isn't anybody open? Everybody's open now. And the only time he misses, it's because pressure changes something, either the timing or he doesn't get a chance for the person to be open. But I think other than when he was pressured, I think he completed almost
seemed like
pass.
He was pretty damn near perfect.
Yeah.
Pretty damn near perfect. The Botobox Wine Line, 800-990-3776. That's how you can join the conversation tonight after the Packers' victory. 8 points over the world champs, 27-19 at Lambeau Field. We begin with Jeff in Minnesota. Jeff, you're on Green Bay Game Night with Homer and Gabe.
Homer, Gabe, an unbelievable game. And last week when I was on, I still feel this way, if the offensive line continues to play this well, they are going to probably win 10 games. I just think that it gives Jordan Love the time he needs to see the field. And the other thing that Jordan Love is now doing that is just huge is there were some times where people weren't open downfield, and he did a check down pass to Dylan or a back, and they ended up getting 8-9 yards. He's seeing the field, he's figuring it out, and I just think it's just so much fun to watch this team. I hope
Watson's threw it away
too long.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly, Homer. Or he threw it away. But I think the biggest change, I really do. As you guys know, I've been in Love's camp all along. I still think the biggest change in this team over the last 4 to 5 weeks, the offensive line has come together. And and like Homer said, he's got time to throw. And the receivers are getting better, and Kraft has come out of nowhere, and he's playing well. I just feel bad. They're now they're going to be out without Watson, and all the people that have been critical of Watson. The last 2 weeks he's showed what an impact he can have on this team. I mean, the catch he made in the back of the end zone was, coming into the league, the question was his hands. That was a beautiful hands catch. I hope he's not out too long. But what a wonderful victory, and you can just feel it. You can feel the confidence. You can feel this team. They believe in each other, and it's just so fun to watch. So thanks so very much for having the show, and those are my thoughts.
Certainly appreciated, Jeff. 800-990-3776 is the Butterbox Wild line. Now, just full transparency, we've been having issues. We're kind of going through a transition on our talk and text line. So you can get through at 800-990-3776. But if you're somebody who is a texter, 800-990-3776 won't work. So what I'm suggesting is if you go to ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube page, and you can check out Green Bay Game Nights through ESPN Milwaukee. If you leave a comment there, I'll be we'll be keeping an eye on the comments. So if you want to share your comments through our YouTube, and while you're there, go ahead and subscribe. Check it out, watch the stream as long as you're there. Mark Tauscher will be joining us later in the show as it is a victorious Green Bay Game Night.
They're having
Packers
a team
beat.
playoff meeting.
Why not?
No, if they don't make the playoffs now, it's a disappointment.
Oh, they choked.
I mean, I
If something happened where they just fell apart. Whether it's injuries, whether it's lack of because they've got.
You look at all the other teams and all the other games.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
No,
how
there's
everything points in their favor.
There's still going to be some tough games. I don't think they're just going to boat race everybody the rest of the way. They should boat race the Giants because they're bad. But the Buccaneers are going to be a tough fight. The Vikings, Minnesota's going to have a tough fight on New Year's Eve. There are games that I'm not just saying they're going to win the rest of them, but sitting here at 6-6. How many of us thought that they're going to win these last two games? Much less thinking. Yeah, and they went what they do.
3-1.
We were going to be happy with 2-2.
2-2, yes.
We were going to accept. We were going to accept. I think everybody just universally accepted 1-3, and they reversed it. And they go 3-1 now, sitting there at 6-6. This is a playoff team. Undoubtedly, it's a playoff team. 800-990-3776. Paul in Madison. Paul, you are on Green Bay Game Night with Homer and Gabe.
Hello, gentlemen. It's Monterey now, but that's okay. I watched 49ers.
All right,
Paul, you got to call in.
Yeah, Paul, we need you to call back, Paul. Hopefully, just call back. We'll put you to the front of the line when you call back. But the phone line just didn't hold up there. Let's go to Carson in Random Lake. Carson, you're up next on Green Bay Game Night. Hey, what's up, Carson?
So, I got a question. Well, two questions, really. Are we playing that good, or what is it?
All right,
they're playing that good.
Yeah, we'll put Carson back on hold. We're gonna figure out. We'll fix our phone line issues here. Yeah, the Packers are playing that good.
Yeah,
they're playing that good. I don't know how you can watch this offense and not think that they're playing that good.
They were giving up this number of points, but they weren't scoring enough when you give up 19 points. Now they're scoring enough when you give up 19 points, 23, 29, and 27. Against two very good teams. So
outside of the 4th and 2, I don't even know what to call that throw to Romeo Doubs, which seemed fortunate.
Yeah, of course it was fortunate.
But, outside of that play, it's not like, the Packers are just getting lucky. No, they're going out there and they're executing offensively.
They got lucky on the pass interference call that wasn't made.
Oh, yeah. Sure, but
but even if they do,
those
they
are going to happen.
Score and a
2-point conversion. You still have an 8-point lead.
Right.
You're still in a good spot.
I don't feel lucky.
No, the better team won tonight.
Yes,
the better team won
tonight.
They
were the better team on the field.
Yeah, they were the better team
Dylan
tonight.
Is now getting an extra yard or two on every carry.
Yeah, he's falling forward.
Yes,
it's not like he's slipping over his own 2 feet, which is great, which is fantastic. If yes, and by the way, the Packers now 16-0 in the month of December on the Rackle floor.
That is incredible.
Which is it's pretty. Yeah, you're playing football, your best football at the best time of year, going forward.
Right, and this December will be the most amazing of it because you have such a young team. So, no, it's you just They should be in the playoffs. It's now appropriate to start looking at.
I mean, I don't know. I can do some research as the show goes on. But after this win, sitting there at 6-6, and unfortunately for the Packers, because the Chiefs are in the AFC, like, this is a monumental win. It's a statement win, but in terms of standings and tiebreakers, it's not going to help you much. But I'm curious to see what the Packers' playoff odds are, because right now they're in.
They're way above 50.
Yeah.
It's got to be
It's way.
70.
It's got my guess. It's got to be pretty high, especially given the rest of the schedule that they have remaining and the way that they have been playing.
Minnesota, Green Bay,
because
the Rams and Seattle are all 6-6, and then Tampa Bay and New Orleans are 5-7.
And Tauscher and I talked about this on Thanksgiving after the Lions game, because after a lot of Packers games this year, you could have gone, yeah, Packers won, but. You could have thrown a but. There was some sort of qualifier you could have thrown in there. Like against the Chargers. If the Chargers don't drop all those passes, do the Packers really win? Can't say that, I don't think, about the Lions game, and you can't say that about today.
No.
They just went out there, they executed, and they were undoubtedly the better team. And when you do that against two of the best teams in the league, that's going to catch the rest of the notice of the NFL. Everybody notices that. Because these are... I mean, you're looking at a Thursday standalone game on Thanksgiving, one of the most watched games, in how many ever years in that time slot. People are paying attention. And then you play on Thursday Night Football, the standalone game. Back to back, they have shown up in these national spotlight games. 800-990-3776. You can also leave us a message on at ESPN or YouTube.com/ESPN Milwaukee. Check it out. Green Bay Game Night. That's where we stream it. If you leave a comment there, we'll get to that as well. 800-990-3776. More of you on that BotoBox wine line. We'll have Mark Tauscher joining us as well coming up next on Green Bay Game Night.
More Green Bay Game Night coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Football fans, tailgating season is here, and if you want to win at tailgating, you need to Botify your beverage choice. BotoBox wine is the ultimate addition to your tailgate party. This premium wine comes in a box, so it fits perfectly in your cooler or trunk, and there's no heavy glass or corkscrew to deal with. One 3-liter BotoBox is equivalent to 4 regular bottles of wine, so it's great for sharing. Bring the wine that wins with wine critics, BotoBox. This is how we Bota. Please drink responsibly. Must be 21 or over. BotoBox Vineyards, Manteca, California.
Ever wonder how the best athletes find the power to jump higher, cut quicker, skate smoother, drive farther, and stick the landing? At Prevea Orthopedics in Green Bay, we know power starts with the hips. That's why Dr. Michael Ryan and our team of experts provide comprehensive and advanced expertise in hip care, unlike anywhere else. Come to Prevea Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we can preserve your hips, so you can pursue your goals. Prevea Orthopedics, specializing in you.
Hear that? It's the sound of a winning December at Potawatomi. Play with your club card December 7th, 14th, and 21st. The more you play, the bigger your share of $400,000 in reindeer rewards. And like a classic Midwest winter, the wins can really pile up. Dash to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee for your reindeer rewards. $400 grand worth. Learn more at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Hey, this is Gary Ellison for my good friends at the Jewelry Center. It's the only place I go when I'm looking to get some new jewelry. Dean and his team are always friendly and know just what I'm searching for when I stop by. I may not always know what type of jewelry I want, but the professionals there sure do. Plus, if I need repairs on watches or other jewelry, the Jewelry Center does that too. Find the Jewelry Center in Burlington, Brookfield, and Greenfield, or shop their entire collection online, including their popular Lightbox lab-grown diamonds at shoptjc.com.
Cousin Subs just got better. With our newest mobile app update, we've made it easier to purchase your favorite subs and sides with Apple or Google Pay, and the ability to make split payments. And that's not all. Could we get your digits? Sign up today for our new text messaging program to unlock exclusive coupons and offers at cousinsubs.com or via our app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Associated Bank. Looking for a bank with home field advantage? You got it. At Associated Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors. That's why scoring a Packers checking account is the right play for your pay. And here's the kicker. Your Packers debit card gets you 10% off at the Packers Pro Shop. Join the team today. Open your Packers checking account at AssociatedBank.com/Packers. Associated Bank, the bank of the Packers since 1919. Your money works here. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Gary Olson here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? No matter the season, rain, snow, or shine, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is open for you. A top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. Just $35 an hour gets you a round and puts that summer feel back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
This is the longest opening drive in terms of plays and time for the Packers this year. Play 13, second and goal. Love fakes, boot, end zone, Ben Sims, first NFL touchdown, and Lambeau lead.
It is Green Bay Game Night after the Packers are victorious over the Kansas City Chiefs. 27-19 at Lambeau Field. Packers now 6-6. I'm Gabe Knights along with Steve the Homer True. We welcome in the Packers Hall of Famer, the Super Bowl champion. Hear him on Wilde and Tausch. We welcome in Mark Tauscher. What's going on, Tausch?
What a game. Just sauntered my way back from Lambeau, and I always love hearing the crowd and what everybody's talking about. And it's no longer, is Jordan Love the guy? It's, we have our guy and we're a playoff team. That's all I heard from everybody. And it's always congested getting out of Lambeau. That's where we're at. And after watching the game and watching what we've seen the last month, who am I to argue? What a game. What a performance. And I think we all thought, well, it was great. Thursday, Thanksgiving, he's looking good. This was the spotlight game. Best quarterback in the league, defending champs at home. Make your mark. Showcase what you're all about. And Jordan Love did it. The Green Bay Packers did it. And for everybody that is wondering if we're back, if the pack is back, the pack is back and positioning themselves to not just be some squeak-in playoff team, but nobody's going to want to face this team when they get to the playoffs. That's what tonight was about. Does that mean it's still going to be smooth sailing the rest of the way? No, I still think there'll be a bump or two, but this team is coming on. The confidence that they're playing with, the enthusiasm that they're playing with, and now they're executing. Matt LaFleur has done a fantastic job, and this is a really dangerous, fun football team to be a fan of, and I don't think anybody in NFL, including the defending world champs, want any part of what this team is doing moving forward. Well, and that's my opening statement.
What's great about combining this week and last week, because not only does this week validate what happened last week, I think it also says something that one game was on the road, the other was at home. Because when we're talking about this team being a playoff team, because they are, they're going to probably be a wild card team. Like the hole is too big to overcome and catch the Lions for the division lead, right? Like, so it's going to be tough for them to be hosting a playoff game. So, but showing you can do it at Lambeau Field or you can do it on the road against two of the better teams in the league, that's a statement as well. It's not just, this team's really good at home. This team can play anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't want to get out ahead of my skis again. It's fun. Sometimes you tumble.
What would be ahead of your skis?
Sometimes,
there's no such thing.
No, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something here because Gabe just said it's a wild card or bust.
Yes.
It's going to be a wild card. The Lions schedule, hold up. This is where I'm getting out in front of my skis.
Oh, okay.
Who's Green Bay? Green Bay doesn't lose to the Chiefs. Who's Green Bay losing to the rest of the way? You tell me Green Bay can't go 11-6?
They can.
Is it possible? Yes. Do I think that's what's going to happen? No.
They just went through their toughest gauntlet.
Yep.
Is now done.
Mm-hmm.
They have a couple games that they could get beat in. I'm not arguing that.
Yep.
But they just went through two of the three, and maybe not the top teams, but top 6 teams.
Mm-hmm.
They just played them in a 10 period of time. And very not fluky. A couple of bounces here. They were the better team in both games.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit has got what? Is Detroit at 9 wins?
They're at 9 wins.
Is Detroit going to probably get to 12?
Yes.
Yeah, so Detroit will probably get to 12. So if they do, yes. But it is not crazy to say that this team can finish 11-6. And I said last week, they're going to be the 6th seed. They're not going to sneak in and be a 7th seed, especially if they beat Kansas City. I thought if they got to 9 wins, they'd be the 6th seed. Well, now 10-11 is doable. And I don't think this isn't overreacting. Green Bay is a really good young football that is ascending and playing its best ball, and they're not getting worse. They're now getting better and better, and their confidence is growing. And you get a win like tonight, everybody believes. The fans now are fully believing. I think Packer fans are thinking we can win a Super Bowl this year. I'm convinced they think that.
That's skiing without
I don't know
skis.
if I'm there.
Yeah. That's what that is.
Homer, I'm telling you.
Fine, they can think.
I'm not saying that.
No one should say that.
But Homer,
that's
my
idiotic.
point is,
yes.
nobody believed it. Nobody believed it a month ago. Nobody believed it coming into tonight. Nobody did. Everybody picked Kansas City to beat the Packers tonight.
Yep.
And when you have a win like this and you're a young team, yes, San Francisco's really good. Philadelphia, I don't think they're going to go on, but I'll tell you this. I certainly feel a lot better about them playing in the playoffs now. Everybody thinks they're going to be a playoff team now. That's not crazy. No. So we're sitting here. They win 2 or 3 more games. You don't think the Philadelphia Eagles would be scared, to play this team? Guaranteed. San Fran won't be. San Fran will say, bring it on.
San Fran's not scared of anybody.
Every other team in the NFC, you think that the Dallas Cowboys want to see this team? Or the Atlanta Falcons? Or whoever ends up winning the South? The Detroit Lions?
No, I think you could say
like tonight,
I think they're going to. If you said I think they're going to make the playoffs and win a playoff game, that I could see. But you go any further than that, you're going goofy.
I'm telling you what. I'm just telling you what our fans are feeling, and maybe the calls and texts and tweets will be different. But I'm just telling you, you get a chance to hear a cross section of a lot of intoxicated fans when you're walking out of Lambeau after a big win like that. And it was, Homer, just the vibe. And it's not just the vibe of the fans, the team, the coaches, everybody's believing. That's a powerful thing. So, yeah, you could sell that. But we're now at this point where this is a 6-6 football team. And do I think they're going to run the table and go to 11-6? No. But I certainly think 10 wins is incredibly doable.
Yeah.
And it's
going 4-1 down the stretch.
How this thing is played out.
Yeah, I think 4-1 down the stretch seems. I think that's the expectation.
Will any of us be shocked? Will any of us be shocked if they end up at 11-6?
No.
Shocked.
I'm not going to be.
Well, because let's.
I'm not going to be.
No. What game are they not going to be favored in?
I don't know. I'd be shocked because that would mean winning 8 games in a row to finish the season. I don't know which one they're going to lose. But yeah, I'd be shocked.
I mean, they're going to be favored next week against the Giants. They'll be favored at home against the Buccaneers. They'll be favored at the Panthers.
Other than
at Minnesota's, you don't know.
Yeah, maybe
at
that's
Minnesota.
Minnesota by 2.
Well,
they got to figure out their quarterback situation.
Not with
correct.
Let me tell you something. If Jordan Love is doing this and we just beat the Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas is going to it's going to be a pick 'em, or Green Bay will be a 1 or 2 point favorite. Green Bay is going to be favored the rest of the way.
Yep.
We're now getting into the area where people are going to start looking at this Green Bay team very similarly to how we looked at it last year in the beginning of the season. That's where this thing is trending. Where if it's not a road game against a really good team, Green Bay is going to be favored, or it's going to be a pick 'em. That's right now. Green Bay is going to be viewed in the NFC. You got San Francisco, and I'm not willing to go there yet, but I'm getting closer to being crazy to say I think that they're. How do you not say that they're not a top 4 team in the NFC right now?
I mean,
yeah, I'll go. They could be number 4.
I mean, they're
you got Philly, Dallas, and San Francisco after that.
San Fran. And Detroit and Green Bay is a toss-up to me.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, and then I would put Dallas.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, Dallas is ahead of them. Yeah, right now.
Yeah,
but I'm promising you right now, Dallas don't want any part of playing the Green Bay Packers. Nobody in the NFC does outside of San Francisco. Nobody.
Well, right now, that is their playoff matchup. Would be the San Francisco 49ers. We'll see how that plays out.
A lot of ball game left.
Yeah, they've got a lot of games left here through the final 5 weeks of the NFL season. Football fans, tailgating season is here. If you want a chance to win at tailgating, you need to Bodify your beverage choice. Bodabox wine is the ultimate addition to your tailgate party. This premium wine comes in a box, fitting perfectly in your cooler or trunk, and there's no heavy glass or corkscrew to deal with. 1 3-liter Bodabox is equivalent to 4 bottles of wine, so it's great for sharing. Bring the wine that wins with wine critics. Bodabox. This is how we Boda. Please drink responsibly. Must be 21 or older. Bodabox Vineyards, Manteca, California. Check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/ESPN Milwaukee. That is where we're monitoring comments. If you're usually a texter, we will hit all of those and get to your phone calls on that Bodabox One line at 800-990-3776 as we continue on Green Bay Game Night.
We're back with Green Bay Game Night after this on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
The Boucher Group has exciting news to share with you. We've expanded to better serve our community.
Introducing Nissan Lake Country, the newest addition to our family.
Step into our showroom and discover our exceptional selection of brand new Nissans.
We're also stocked with the best pre-owned options in the market.
And as we expand, we're not just growing our inventory, we're also growing our team.
So join a team that values your skills and celebrates your success.
Visit us online or in-store today and view our current job listings at bouchercareers.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. A couple years ago, my knee was acting up. As an athlete, I've played through pain before, but it was getting to the point where I couldn't compete in the sports I loved. I decided to check out Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's the best decision I've made. I felt no pressure to have surgery. That was important to me. We had choices. I ultimately did choose to have a procedure. I was in and out in just hours and back in action shortly after. I recommend meeting their doctors. Visit orthowisconsin.com today.
Tito's handmade vodka is so good and smooth, you can mix it with anything. Now, hear us out. If your usual brunch cocktail sounds like a Tito's Bloody Mary stacked with garnishes is more like Tito's. Sounds pretty good. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Get your game on at the Island Resort and Casino with first-round picks of your favorite slots and table games. Bring friends and watch your favorite team compete on big screens. Grab game day eats in T. McSee's Sports Bar or celebrate your team's victory in Horizon's Steakhouse. To book your game time at the Island Resort and Casino, call 800-682-6040 today.
For kids at the Salvation Army, a meal isn't just a meal. It's fuel for imagination, determination, and dreams. It's energy to be role models, change makers, and to just be kids. With your gift to the Salvation Army, a full meal is provided to a child, which leads to a full heart, a full night's sleep, and a future full of possibilities. Donate to the Salvation Army today, and you'll show local kids love beyond hunger at samilwaukee.org. That's samilwaukee.org.
Santa's back again. Santa's back.
That's not a Christmas song, Dad.
That's true, Sid, but I'm celebrating our ESPN Wisconsin Racine Danish Kringles Jingle for Your Kringle contest on Wilde and Tauscher, where you could win Kringle for a year. It's back for another year.
Can I enter?
Sure, anyone can. All you have to do is submit your own original jingle to celebrate the holidays and Racine Danish Kringle to ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Then we'll pick the most creative songs, and our grand prize winner will get Kringle for a year. There's only one requirement. Make sure you include Racine Danish Kringles. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition in your jingle. Or if you don't want to sing, but you still want to celebrate the holidays with the Racine Danish Kringle, call 800-4DANISH or visit Kringle.com and order their all-new Holiday Stick Sampler.
Sweet dreams of holiday Kringle, Mary Berry and apple, and lots of icing too.
Sid, what are you doing?
I'm working on my jingle. Kringle, I love you.
The Brewers annual clubhouse sale returns for 2 days only, Friday, December 1st and Saturday, December 2nd from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Head to American Family Field to save up to 80% on Brewers apparel, game-used items, and memorabilia. Plus, get a free Brewers water bottle or tumbler when you spend $100 or more while supplies last. It's the Brewers' best sale of the season, right in time for the holidays. Don't miss out.
This is Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Love stepping up, throwing in zone. Watson, touchdown Packers. They're 2 for 2 tonight.
Green Bay Game Night, Packers victorious over the Kansas City Chiefs 27-19, taking down the world champs at Lambeau Field. I think this is the most complete game they've played all year. Is that going too far? Because I feel like there have been times where they've had really good first halves and really good second halves, and they beat the Lions last week on the strength of a really good first quarter. They scored 20 points in the first quarter.
Yep.
But this was just 7, 7, 7, 6. They were consistent in the performance all the way throughout. Now, and the defense made plays when they were supposed to, when they needed to. I feel like this was, for 4 quarters, the best 4 quarters that they've put together in any single game.
Yeah, I'll go with that. But Joe Barry wins again because they stopped nothing. And then the last 3 possessions, 3 and out, interception, and downs. It's amazing.
From that perspective, Gabe, you look at what they did in Detroit, and yeah, it was great start, pretty consistent. Tonight, the offense looked like Kansas City had no answers tonight. Mm-hmm. Matt LaFleur was a step ahead of Spagnuolo all night, and Jordan Love, even when the throw to Dobbs, I couldn't tell. I didn't get a great replay look at it, but watching it in person, it looked like he just chucked it up there. And then
that's what it looked like on TV too.
Ellerson
to the guy we said don't chuck it up to him.
Yeah, but he made that play. And again, I think the biggest difference, obviously the offensive line is playing at a much higher level than what it did in October. The October swoon was real. It stunk, and I'm glad everybody stuck with it, especially the team. But the defense, the line of scrimmage on both sides have gotten markedly better. That's allowed Jordan Love to do the things that he's been able to do and gain the confidence in it. And now this receiving core is making plays and getting confident and being hungry. So the entire team, I still think defensively we're very vulnerable against good rush teams. And I thought Pacheco tonight, I don't know what his final stat line was, but I thought that they didn't stick with that as much. And that's Andy Reid. That's not what he does. He wants to throw it around. And the play of the game was the interception by Keyshawn Nixon. If he doesn't make that play, I think Kansas City probably is going to go down, and then it's a whole nother story. So just making plays when you had to, staying one step ahead of what Kansas City did. That's why Green Bay was the better team tonight. Period. End of story. However you want to finish it.
18 for 110 and a touchdown for Pacheco.
Yeah, he had a good game. He was tough.
I also think
sure.
as big a difference as anything is the difference in Christian Watson now versus what it was before. He's making the plays he couldn't make. He's not having to outrun everybody. He's playing like a wide receiver. There was no Christian Watson like that. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at one game he changed. But
7 catches for 71 yards.
Yeah. But he get touchdowns.
The big thing there was he came back, he wasn't healthy. People were catching him. He has the big-time speed. And when he has that, he freaks out defensive backs. They give him that cushion because he's still not a polished route runner. I still think he has a way to go. But when you have that world-class speed and size, you're starting to see him win contested catches. The touchdown tonight that he had was just an absolute thing of beauty. And he is healthy. Now, hopefully, whatever happened at the end of the game, it was a good sign to me that he was able to walk off the field, but he is a difference maker. He changes how teams have to defend, and it gives other guys those other opportunities, and he has gotten a lot better at those intermediate routes. It's just the transformation of this football team in the last 5 weeks, it's flat been remarkable. And Matt LaFleur, for as much grief as I gave him, and I think a lot of other people gave him, he deserves to be showered with flowers, showered with perfumes, whatever it is, because he has this young football team executing and playing with a ton of fun and passion and creativity. It's really just been a really fun thing to watch this team grow.
Getting to some of the comments on our YouTube page again. No talk and text line. We're working on. Yeah, we're working on the talk part. So if you want to give us a call at 800-990-3776, you can on the Botobox One line. The text portion, if you're typically a texter, drop a note over at ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube page, youtube.com/ESPN Milwaukee, where we're streaming the video of Green Bay game nights. Just some comments kind of coming out of there. Steve-O agreeing with you, Tausch. Packers are a dangerous team. It's very young, growing together. Future is very bright in Green Bay. So everybody, we're talking about everything here, Tausch, that it seems like looking at these comments that a lot of people were talking about coming out of Lambeau Field and how everybody's just really starting to feel the Green Bay Packers. And again, I feel like it was, and maybe just because it was Thanksgiving and you're a little more reserved then, but you're going, ooh, okay, beat the Lions on Thanksgiving, you're starting to feel good. But putting together these two performances back to back, when you start talking about the consistency of a young team, they seem to be finding that consistency.
And they won by a touchdown or more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's nothing fluky about what we're seeing. That's the best part. It's one thing if you're getting a ton of turnovers and we're executing offensively. This is a group that's just executing at a really high level. And by the way, Aaron Jones is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
So
the run game is still.
They didn't need him.
Well,
they did.
The crazy part is
help.
This is coming together without David Bakhtiari, Aaron Jones, who heading into the season were your two best offensive players.
Yep.
Rasul Douglas, who you traded away, who at one point was your best defensive player, was your most consistent player at the time that he was traded away.
And is Jair still on the team?
Jair has not played 7 games this year.
Right.
So when you're looking at who you thought maybe the top 3 players heading into the season were, there's a good chance that Bakhtiari, Jones, and Jair were on your list. And they haven't, well, Bakhtiari hasn't contributed at all since week 1. Jones really hasn't done much since week 1. He's tried to play a couple of times. He's been on a pitch count. Hasn't been super productive, and Jair's been hurt most of the year.
It makes it even that more amazing.
I mean,
well, I'll tell you what. I've been saying this for 2 years, and I've had taken shrapnel. Trusting Brian Gutekunst. You trust Brian Gutekunst, and you're going to be very happy with what your results are. Period. That's just where we're at. And for everybody that wants to give him a ton of grief about what happened in the past and everything else, he has absolutely crushed with the young players, the first and second year players, and letting him grow. There is no way that anybody over there, Russ, the entire front office, had any idea that what we saw tonight was going to be possible this season. Nobody. And the fact that they're here and that Jordan Love is playing at this high of a level is a testament to the program, the franchise, Matt LaFleur, and the process that they trusted, which is a hard thing to do, but it's working. And when you do things that are big and bold and they work, you deserve a ton of attaboys, because on the flip side, you lose your job if it doesn't.
And it's hard.
Brian Gutekunst, it's very hard, but it's working, and he deserves to be. It's just, and I'm not asking him to apologize to him. That's not my deal, but he's hit home runs. There is a lot of young talent that is popping earlier than any of us could have imagined on a biggest stage against the big boys. That's pretty impressive to see.
Question here from CL, again, dropping a comment on youtube.com/ESPN Milwaukee, where the video stream is for Green Bay Game Night. Is A.J. Dillon earning another contract?
I mean, I think it all depends on what the numbers are, but A.J. Dillon's played great the last month. He's not going to be, to me, I don't want him as my feature back moving forward.
No, kind of be that change of pace power guy.
I want him to be he's going to be here. He's a steady player. I want home run hitters at that position. I want someone, a Pacheco. Even I'd take Pacheco. But A.J. Dillon is tough. He is physical. And I think he's really finding his role as kind of that Robin to Aaron Jones whenever he's there. And he can do what you're asking him to do. But I think in today's NFL, I want a home run hitter. And A.J. Dillon's a doubles. He's going to hit one off the green monster. He's going to get into second base. So I would be fine keeping him, but it would have to be on my terms. That would be how I would look at it.
Yeah, he hasn't had to be that good because the rest of the offense, Jordan Love and the receiving and the passing, has become so good.
No, the O-line is doing. You want to ask Jordan Love why things are going the way they are. It's because the O-line, and really it comes back to me. Zach Tom's healthy. Elton Jenkins is healthy. I think there's still some things, I think tonight everybody held up okay.
They're still rotating left tackle and right guard. Like, they still don't have five guys. That's the other incredible part to me, Tausch, is they're still unsettled at who they want to play left tackle and right guard. They're rotating them, and yet they're still getting a production out of all 7 of those players.
So why I said the NFC thing and who's better and all this other stuff, this team is just scratching the surface. This is a team that's going to get more consistent, and they're going to be better. They're still going to have, again, I really thought tonight I would have been fine. Had we lost a 1-score game, I would have said, boy, I just love the way this team is trending. And then when you get a win like this, there's going to be overreaction. I'm not overreacting. I'm telling you.
What would be overreaction?
Overreacting would be, well, they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not there yet. Fans are going to be
yet.
But I'm telling you right now, if this team doesn't have to play the San Francisco 49ers, I think the Niners are the best in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean they're going to win the division. That doesn't mean they're going to win it. That doesn't mean somebody can't knock them off. There is this Green Bay Packer team, when we get to the end of December, early January, if this trend continues, and I don't have any reason to think it's not going to because of what we've seen, there is nobody in the NFC that's going to want to play this team. And all it takes is you to get hot and win a game, and then win a game, and here you go. It's not the craziest thing I've heard. This team is one of the best teams in the NFC as we sit here right now. They're not the best.
Yeah.
But they are not at the bottom end of, I'm going to scrape my way into the
No, they're tier 2.
No, but if you say they're going to make the Super Bowl, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah, they're tier 2. I did not say they're going to make the Super Bowl.
But you kind of want to go there.
No, you're tiptoeing around. You're tiptoeing around it.
I told you.
Yeah, whoa.
I told you I'm not there yet.
You're doing the Talladega Nights thing.
I don't think you should be allowed to bring it up.
You're doing the Talladega Nights thing where you're saying...
I told you I'm not going there yet.
Why do you even bring it up?
No, hold on, Tausch.
Why don't you go back-to-back Super Bowls? Ask about whether or not they could do that.
Tausch, you just said you're not going there, but then you went there.
Yeah, I'm not.
But you did.
I said I'm not going there.
Yeah, but then you went, well, but all it takes. Yeah, but that's the same thing as Will Ferrell and Talladega Nights saying no offense and then saying something offensive.
It should be against the law to say they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Now, if they win
I
their
didn't
last
say they're
5
going to the
games-
Super Bowl.
No, but you want to bring it up as a topic. It's not appropriate as a topic. It's reckless.
First off, it's not reckless.
It is totally reckless.
I'm
Put this
saying,
as a discount
I
liquor
said
Twitter poll question. Is it reckless to say the Packers can go to the Super Bowl? Put it down as a question. Yes, it's
I would
reckless.
I would ask this. Outside of the San Francisco 49ers, is there any team you don't think the Green Bay Packers can beat?
But that's not how you get to the Super Bowl. You got to beat multiple teams to get there. You might be good enough to beat one of them. You don't got to beat one of them. You got to beat 3 of them.
That's why I'm not going there yet.
But you
I
did.
just told you that.
But you did,
But I
Tausch, because
didn't.
you said I'm not going there. But then in the same breath, you went, well, but then if you could win one game and then win another and you get hot, who knows what happens?
It's reckless to talk about the Packers going to the Super Bowl. It should not be allowed until they win the rest of their games. Win 5 in a row.
I'm not all the way with Homer. I'm not all the way there with Homer. If you want to go there, Tausch, feel free to go there.
But it's reckless. Is it reckless?
But don't tell me you're not going there and then go there.
But Gabe, I've already said I'm not going there. But where I will go?
Yes, where are you going?
Where I've went from the get-go.
Okay, let me hear
is that outside of the San Francisco 49ers, right now, I think you can make a really good argument that this Green Bay Packer team can beat any other team in the NFC. And you guys know that the playoffs are crazy. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going there, but crazy stuff happens.
I don't think it's that
young
crazy.
team, a young team that doesn't know Homer. A young team that doesn't know any better.
Fine. It's not just beating one of the teams. You got to beat. How many they got to beat? 3 of those 4 teams?
3, again, I mean, going back to, I don't think they catch the Lions for the division. So you're looking at 3 games, probably all on the road.
Yep. Boy, you guys probably, when you were doing this show in 2010, probably said it's crazy to think that this team can go
it was
win a
not
Super Bowl
because
too.
the
I bet you
defense
did.
was no.
I
I can go back. They were the second
Run the
best team
tape.
in points given up. That's what the Packers do to win the Super Bowl. It's the only time they've won the Super Bowl going back to Vince Lombardi's era. First or second in defensive points given up. They were second that year. Now, the game has changed a little bit, but it is reckless. Why would you even think of talking about, why would you even think of mentioning the Packers go to the Super Bowl? Yes, they could beat one of those teams.
I didn't say they're going.
But after they beat that
Don't
team,
put
then they
words in
got to
my
beat
mouth.
another one of those teams, and then they got to beat another one of those teams.
That's how the playoffs
reckless.
work,
I know
isn't
it's
it?
how it works. They're not
That's
that
how the
good.
playoffs work.
It's not saying they could beat one of those teams. It's saying they could beat all those teams.
I didn't say they could. I don't think they can
have
beat
to get
San
to the
Francisco.
Super Bowl.
No, they don't. See, plenty of times, a lot of teams didn't want to play Green Bay, and San Francisco came in here and beat us, and that turned it. Oh, we don't have to play Green Bay at Lambeau.
Yeah,
you lose in the playoffs.
Well, no, look at the teams that are
happens.
making the playoffs and how bad they are after you have the first 3 teams. It's okay if you want to say the Packers are going to win a playoff game. I think that's a step up. That's different than saying they're going to No, it should be against the law to say they're going to go to the Super Bowl. You can't
I don't
do
think
that.
they're going to go to.
You're crazy as those
Homer,
fans, and
right
you're not
now-
drunk. Are you drunk? Have you
Homer,
been drinking?
I am not drunk.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you this.
Tell me.
As I've said, I do not think that this is a Super Bowl team.
Okay.
I don't. But I don't think it's crazy to start thinking we can get hot and make some waves. We can get hot and make some waves.
Well, what are those waves then? What are those waves?
You tell me.
I did.
You tell me.
I just told you that win a playoff game. That's a wave.
No.
See, Tausch has figured out. Tausch is doing a genius thing right now, where he's like, "I'm not saying it," and then he just goes ahead and says
he
it.
asked me to say it.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's
telling
correct.
you,
He's trying to
the
bait
fact
you into
that-
saying
Fine,
it.
I'm telling you right now, it would be special to say, and it's justified that they are good enough. They can win. Not only make the playoffs, they can win a playoff game. Because it might
All
be.
I'm going to tell you.
But winning more
Okay,
than
all
one
I'm gonna
playoff
say-
game and saying they can go to the Super Bowl is reckless. Because they got to win how many
Okay,
games?
so, fair.
How many games they got to win?
I'm not going to.
3.
Reckless is way too strong. I just asked you guys if they could win 5 of the next 6 or go 5-0, and everybody said, "Yeah, it's doable, very doable." That reckless? Like what? Okay, great. Start using the term reckless. I don't really give a rip.
The Giants,
Go
Tampa
ahead.
Bay, Carolina, Minnesota, and the Bears. Let's compare that to what? Detroit, San Francisco, and Philadelphia. Oh, yeah, that's the
Homer,
same.
my
That's
point.
the same.
Here's my point.
Okay.
Here's my point.
All right.
You just beat one of the best teams in the NFC on the road.
Yep.
2 weeks ago.
Yep.
You just beat the defending world champions.
Yes.
With their all-star crew with Taylor Swift in the building.
Mm-hmm.
You just did that. You tell me you can't beat anybody when
You'd
you can
have
do that?
to do even
the Chiefs
more
can
than
beat
that.
anybody.
You'd have to do more
I
than
agree.
that to make the Super Bowl.
I agree. And that's why I'm not going there. But I'm just telling you that
So
this team
where are
is
you going? What do you
dangerous,
think they can do? You don't want to say Super Bowl. What do you think they're going to do?
I don't know. First off, I'm not even – I guarantee – right now, I'd say they're going to make the playoffs. Ben Bruss can be jumping in the lake.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah, that's
so
a lock.
I said that a couple weeks ago, and you all thought I was nuts. Okay?
Yes.
So, boom. Reckless this. All right, Homer?
Yeah,
So I
okay.
don't care about all that reckless stuff.
All right.
So are they going to be – playoffs are a whole different animal. We all know that. But there's something about a young team that doesn't know any better that can be kind of powerful too. And if you can see the growth and where this team is, I'm telling you right now, the Philadelphia Eagles don't want any part of what we just saw. I'm telling you right now, the Dallas Cowboys don't want any part of what we're seeing. And the same thing goes for the Detroit Lions and every team outside of the San Francisco 49ers. And I would bet if you asked after the whooping that they laid on Philly at their place today and watching what Jordan Love did to the Kansas City Chiefs, I would bet if Kyle Shanahan could pick which teams he'd play, he would take the Dallas Cowboys ahead of the Green Bay Packers. He would take the Philadelphia Eagles ahead of them. And I think he'd take the Detroit Lions. So you tell me what that means.
It means they could win a playoff game. That's what it means.
Tausch really wants
And
to
then you
say
could
it,
win-
but he's not going to say
And
it.
then you could win another one.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
could.
gonna say it. I'm not going there yet.
Yeah.
I ain't going there.
Okay, well, just out of curiosity, when will you go there?
Yeah.
When will you go
I
there?
don't know.
Well, I can tell you.
Who could say?
I'll go there if
Stay
they win the
tuned.
last 5
Say,
games.
yeah,
If they win the last 5 games,
It's
I'll
enticing.
go there.
That's a great tease. That's a great tease, Tausch. Now everybody's got to make sure they tune in every week to Green Bay Game Night to see if Tausch is going to go there.
He'll say, this is how you get there, and they can get there, but I'm not going there.
Do you guys agree right now?
I do agree.
That the San Francisco 49ers are the best team in the NFC.
I think the 49ers are the best team in the NFL, so yes.
Okay. And is it crazy to say that after tonight, the Green Bay Packers could be the second best team in the NFC?
I still think the Eagles are the second best team in the NFC.
Okay.
I think the Eagles laid an egg today, but everybody gets
Would you feel like this team couldn't beat Philadelphia right now if they played next week?
It'd be tough. That's a really good Eagles team. I understand they got whooped up on today by San Francisco, but that's a really good Eagles team.
You're not going there. You're not going there.
You know who else is pretty good? You know who else is a pretty good team?
Packers.
No. You know who else is a pretty good team? Kansas City Chiefs. Pretty good football team. Great defense, I was told. Don't give up anything, I was told today. That they're not going to give up a bunch of stuff. Green Bay Packers look pretty good today. You know who else is a pretty good team? Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, pretty good football team.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Looked to me like Green Bay had no problem with that.
Yeah, but they did have a problem with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey,
like I mean, again,
you know
like
who's pretty
we
good?
those
You
the
know
last
who
two
else is
weeks.
a pretty good football team?
The last 2 weeks.
Go there. Go there.
You know who else? No. You know who else is a pretty good football team that we're finding out as they're growing, getting better?
Green Bay Packers.
Boom. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Go there. Come on, Tausch.
He really wants
Go
to.
there.
He's not going to go there. He's not going to go there. I feel like we just did
Green
flush
Bay
it or flush
Packers.
it, but we still have to do flush it or flush it. We'll do that coming up next on Green Bay Game Night.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Night will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
At We Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at weenergies.com. We Energies. People you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
In the heart of downtown Milwaukee, there's an all-new Potawatomi Casino Hotel, where there's a table waiting for you at 12 bars and restaurants, a winning seat at 40 table games or 3,000 slot machines, plus the thrill of bingo, full-service sports betting, and more. Are you ready to spark something new? Light up your senses at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Explore more at paysbig.com.
Ever wonder how the best athletes find the power to jump higher, cut quicker, skate smoother, drive farther, and stick the landing? At Prevea Orthopedics in Green Bay, we know power starts with the hips. That's why Dr. Michael Ryan and our team of experts provide comprehensive and advanced expertise in hip care, unlike anywhere else. Come to Prevea Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we can preserve your hips so you can pursue your goals. Prevea Orthopedics, specializing in you.
Hi, this is Wayne Larrabee, the voice of Green Bay football. You know, fans count on me to make the right call every time, and I can continue to do that thanks to Summit Eye Care of Wisconsin. When my vision began to drift, my eye doctor said Summit Eye Care was the best place to go. Using the latest adjustable implants, the doctors at Summit were able to fine-tune my vision. In fact, my vision is now the best it's ever been. Summit Eye Care was the right call to help me see all the action on game days.
To schedule an appointment at one of their locations, visit summitiwi.com.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely gonna need a cold one. There's the one. Now that Thanksgiving is over, I'm stocking up with all the special beers, especially from Potosi Brewing. Wonder from Potosi Brewing Company is joining me to share what they're brewing up here during the holiday season, including a special beer that's been a favorite for almost a century.
It's our holiday beer. It's an easy drinkable ale, not infused with spruce tips and stuff like the other beers are. This recipe was actually our top-selling beer from 1932 to 1972. The holiday, I would say, with pork, it'd be great with pork. It'd be great with fish. Like I said, it's a light, easy-going ale, so it could go with anything.
Thanks to Wonder for hopping on and sharing the scoop on Potosi's holiday beer. You know that this time of year, you're not doing yourself or your family right if the fridge is not stocked.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Don't you love it? Don't you love it? No, I ain't
Was in motion. Love retreats, puts it up for grabs. Romeo Dobbs hangs on at the 11. Retreating, backpedaling, put it up, and Dobbs brought it in. Gain of 33.
I wake up and I'm not so mad at Twitter now.
Have some good comments here on our YouTube stream, youtube.com/ESPN Milwaukee, where you can watch Green Bay Game Night with me, Gabe Neitzel, along with Steve the Homer True and the Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. This one coming from Matthew Coonan, who is a frequent texter and tweeter into programs. Tausch bought a cake, candles, and gifts and is really mad that we think he's throwing a birthday party.
Not going there. Not going there. Should be a new segment. I love it. I'm not going there, but I regret that I did not get to Potawatomi to take up on Ben Brust's idea, Matt LaFleur as Coach of the Year. He's got a shot to be Coach of the Year. You're that bad early, and you come back. Let's say they win their last five, and I'm going to go over to Potawatomi after the show's done and see what it's at. It was like 100-1 or something.
he still has a long way. I think he's got a ways to go.
If they win their last 5, he's coach of the year.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know.
I'd love to say so, but looking at what the Steelers do with that roster, I don't know how Mike Tomlin. Everybody loves D'Amico Ryans.
They just got rolled out of the gym.
No Aaron Rodgers and 1 and what were the Packers at? 1 and 5.
Rebuild, and if they make the playoffs
2 and 5,
and
2 and 5
are as dangerous as some of us think they're going to be. Yeah, he's going to be coy.
Actually, I'm not going there, but I am going there after the show.
Look,
no, I
think that Matt LaFleur's doing a hell of a job.
Right.
He didn't get recognized at all for winning 13 games 3 years in a row. I don't think he's going to get recognized again.
They should get coach of the year for taking a bad team.
Tausch, the way that Love's playing, everyone's going to go, well, look at Jordan Love.
No, not yet. Nope, he developed him. People are going to give him love and credit for that. Matt LaFleur wins the next 5 and goes 11-6 on the season. Coy it up. Coy.
I don't know what that means.
The coach of the year.
Coach of the year. Come on,
Coach of the year.
Sorry, I didn't know coy it up. I thought that was some other
say
phrase.
Depoy.
Like touchdowns now.
Depoy.
Tutters.
When did that start?
Tutteruski.
Yeah, I don't know. Whenever Tausch started calling him Tutters.
Yeah, but other people call it Tutters.
Yeah, because of Tausch.
No,
he's
fun.
a trendsetter.
Yeah, it's all fun.
He might be.
Have fun.
He's a trendsetter. Just because again, if they start going on a run, they get hot in the playoffs. Tausch is going to be like, I said so, all the way back after that Kansas City game. And with some clever editing, he can get there.
I'm not going there, but it's a new segment. I love it.
I am going there. It's time to flush it or flesh it right now on Green Bay Game Night.
Flush it.
We failed multiple times with bad ideas. I didn't know were bad till I realized they didn't work.
Or flesh it.
Yeah, that's one idea. Or we can work as a team.
Brought to you by Gordon Flesh Company. Business technology managed. Taking the worry out of your office equipment and IT needs.
Haven't talked about it a lot, but there have been some comments on the YouTube stream. Again, youtube.com/ESPN Milwaukee, where you can watch the show. Green Bay Game Night. Flush it or flesh it. Joe Barry is the Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator in 2024.
Yeah, we can flesh this out, but I think Joe Barry's done a pretty good job this year.
110%. Yes, he's. Yeah.
There's still people that will tweet you and tell you this, but this team has been in a bunch of games. They don't give up big plays. They just don't. They'll give up a bunch of yards rushing. They'll do some things that'll drive you nuts. A 3rd and 7, and they give up an 8-yard out.
3rd and 18
drives you nuts. Yeah, there's stuff that happens that will frustrate you, but you know what? That happens with every team.
Yep.
And all in all, this team, they're creating turnovers. Their team is playing hard. And Joe Barry, the last couple weeks, they've done enough to win games against good offenses.
With a ton of
football
injuries.
Teams.
How many people is he missing?
Yeah, but I don't... Jair Alexander, I think he was a really good player. The Valentine group with the mixing and matching of safeties and with what Keyshawn Nixon is doing, these guys are just playing hard. And you're not seeing the same amount of missed tackles that we saw in the past. Joe Barry, I think, is going to be your defensive coordinator, and I think he's done a really good job this season in mixing and matching and doing different things to mix it up enough to have this team. Where are they at ranked point-wise? Are they top 10?
They could be, yeah, they could be 8th or something. I'm not going there, but the only reason he wouldn't be back is if he gets a head coaching job somewhere else.
I'll go there. That ain't happening, Captain. Okay?
I'm not going there.
I'll go there.
I'm not going there, but and
you want to know this game? All right, Kansas City, field goal, touchdown, 3-and-out, interception, and downs.
And they still haven't created a ton of turnovers. They got the one today. Yeah. This defense hasn't created a ton of turnovers. They have the last couple of weeks, and I think that's been a big difference. But they made the plays when they needed to. And that's kind of the way NFL defenses work in 2023. Yeah, you give up a couple of plays here and there, but holding them to field goals in the first and second quarter, that's the difference in the game.
Yep.
Because the Chiefs were answering the Packers play for play, and then when they got in the red zone, the Packers were able to make a play, whether it's dialing up a blitz at the right time or somebody getting through and getting a sack at the right time. Lucas Van Ness getting a big sack tonight. And for really having a no-name secondary after Jair went down, you traded Rasul.
Unbelievable.
Like, Jonathan Owens has been really good as a safety the last handful of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, he shouldn't have been flagged. They said as much on the TV broadcast. Should not have been flagged for the hit he had on Patrick Mahomes. But he has been flying all over the place making plays. So even though they haven't had some of their preferred starters in the secondary, they've been able to find a way to make it happen and make it work. And maybe that ends up being a little bit different going up against Minnesota if Justin Jefferson's back on New Year's Eve. But, I mean, I'm looking at the rest of the schedule. I mean, who's a wide receiver or who has a group of wide receivers? Yeah, the combination of those two things.
Wait, can I help Tauscher about I'm not going there? You want to go there. They are 8th or 9th in points given up. Here are the rankings of the Super Bowl teams in the last 6 years. Defense.
It sounds like you're. Like you might.
I want to
be
give you
going
more.
there.
16th and 8th, 15th and 17th, 8th and 11th, 7th and 8th, 7th and 20th.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last 5 years. Those are the two teams in the Super Bowl defensively. Offensively, 1st, 3rd, 8th, 7th, 3rd, 6th, 4th, 2nd, 4th, 2nd.
In terms of points scored?
Points scored.
What does any of that mean?
It means that teams with defenses worse than the Packers have won Super Bowls the last 2 years and get to the Super Bowl, most lose, every year. Every year. Here are the losers in the Super Bowl in points given up the last 5 years. 8th, 17th, 11th, 8th, and 20th. The Packers are right around 8th or 9th.
Yeah, what does that mean?
That means that their defense
He's
is
giving you
good
ammo
enough
in case you want to go there.
make the Super Bowl. The issue of not making the Super Bowl, I'm not going there, but the issue of making the Super Bowl is all on their offense, and it is now starting to get closer to where you need to be. I'm not going there.
This offense, with the O-line playing the way it is going to be good enough to give people a lot of problems. A lot of problems, and we just saw it again tonight with the Kansas City Chiefs, which, by the way, Kansas City, this is their best defense in the Patrick Mahomes era.
And they haven't given up. This is the most points they've given up in the game this year? Is that right?
Statistically. That's because this group the Green Bay Packers are becoming a really good football team. A really good football team that is going to scare a lot of teams in the NFC because they just scared the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'll go there.
Right out of town. Right out of town.
Yeah, who are the hottest teams in the NFL? Who's the hottest team in the NFL?
Green
San
Bay.
Francisco? Haven't they won 4 or 5 in a row?
Green Bay's hotter than San Fran.
No.
Green Bay.
San Francisco,
San Fran,
they beat Philly
here's
today.
the deal. San Fran is a better team. Hey,
was that
San
in
Fran's
Philly?
a better team.
Yeah,
it was in Philly.
It was in Philly.
Yeah. San Francisco is a better team. They're hotter. Dallas people, they're hot. But I'm telling you right now, ain't anybody scared of the Dallas Cowboys. Green Bay will be happy to take on all comers. And I'm telling you, Dallas would say, let me take the Falcons. Let me take the Vikings. I'll take the Rams.
Of course.
I'll take I'm going through every NFC playoff team. I'll take Philadelphia.
From the bottom up.
Dallas is chomping to play Philly next week. They're chomping. Dallas would be filling their britches if they somehow win, get to the 2 seed, and have to play the Green Bay Packers down in Jerry World. Their britches will be filled.
I thought you were going to tell us I'm not going there, but the Packers aren't going to be a 7 seed. They're going to be a 6 seed.
They might be a 6 and they may be a 5. Yeah. I'll go there.
5 would be Dallas.
Five would be Dallas or Philly. That'd be tough to do as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't think either one of those teams are ending with 6 losses.
And not go there too.
Well, it all depends if Philly beats Dallas next week, they basically wrap up their division.
Yep.
And then Dallas will sit there and kind of stumble around. I would love, let's see Dallas Green Bay in that opening round of playoffs. That will be fun.
Detroit would be cool too.
I mean, if you can get all the way to 5,
yeah,
that means you get the NFC South champ.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you'll be favored in that game.
Yes.
All right, nobody's scared of the NFC South.
How many would Dallas have to lose?
The Dallas,
Three more.
Dallas needs to beat Philly, and then win their division for us to play Dallas.
Yeah, that's what will have to happen. You are correct, Tausch. Flush It or Flesh It, brought to our friends by Gordon Flesh Company, Tausch.
Indeed, it takes a team to meet just about any goal. That's true on the football field as it is in the office in the Gordon Flesh Company. They've been providing cutting-edge technology for companies of all sizes for over, what a great number, 65 years. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
We still have to give out our dogs of the game. All coming up next here on Green Bay Game Night.
More Green Bay Game Night coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Football fans, tailgating season is here, and if you want to win at tailgating, you need to Bodify your beverage choice. Boda-Box wine is the ultimate addition to your tailgate party. This premium wine comes in a box, so it fits perfectly in your cooler or trunk, and there's no heavy glass or corkscrew to deal with. One 3-liter Boda-Box is equivalent to 4 regular bottles of wine, so it's great for sharing. Bring the wine that wins with wine critics, Boda-Box. This is how we Boda. Please drink responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Boda-Box Vineyards, Manteca, California.
Get your game on at the Island Resort and Casino with first-round picks of your favorite slots and table games. Bring friends and watch your favorite team compete on big screens. Grab Game Day Eats in T. McSee's Sports Bar. Or celebrate your team's victory in Horizon's Steakhouse. To book your game time at the Island Resort and Casino, call 800-682-6040 today.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You heard the final whistle. That means the postgame is ready to roll. This is Green Bay Game Night, powered by ESPN Wisconsin. Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios in downtown Milwaukee. Alongside Homer and Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher, here's Gabe Neitzel.
Packers victorious over the Kansas City Chiefs, 27-19. At Lambeau Field. 3 wins in a row now for the Green Bay Packers. They are 6-6. Monday Night Football next week in New York against the Giants. I'm Gabe Neitzel along with Steve the Homer True and the Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. Join the conversation, 800-990-3776. That is the Boda-Box wine line. Jordan Love's final numbers, 25 of 36, 267 yards, 3 touchdowns, quarterback rating of 118.6. As he continues to just put together great game after great game after great game. And I think he is allowing Joe Barry to have a lot of the success that he is having because of the starts that he is orchestrating, and it's allowing the Packers to, okay, teams want to run the ball, cool. Run the ball, take time off the clock. And this was a weird game in terms of the number of possessions that we had through 3 quarters.
Fewest I can ever remember in my life.
But the Packers were incredibly efficient with it. Jordan Love didn't panic, didn't have to worry about anything. During this 3-game winning streak, by the way, 8 tutters, 0 picks.
They were dictating it. So you're sitting there in that first drive. I think it took the whole it took a half of the first quarter.
Took half of the first quarter.
Yep.
So when you're dictating it, you don't care if you only have 6 drives. You're going down and getting tutters and taking the lead. You're putting a lot of pressure on, and when you go 2 in a row like that, you get 14 up, and all of a sudden Mahomes starts pressing a little bit, and Andy Reid never likes to stick with running the football. he's always been a pass-first guy. And I think tonight's game dictated to him, especially, with some of the sacks that happened early in the game, he felt like he had to stick with the run more because they had to. It was a fast flow game till the fourth quarter and all of the, penalties and stuff that happened. But this was from a Packer fan standpoint, you dictated what happened. That's what you're always looking for. And that allows your defense to do the things that it does better. And it kind of takes the big Achilles heel of what Joe Barry's defense has been is people can ground and pound, get a lead, and dictate to you how you play. Well, it's been none of that the last couple weeks against two teams, especially with the Lions, that could really run the football. Kansas City, they don't want to. They did, but they were kind of forced to do what the Packers wanted them to do because this offense was able to dictate what they were doing in that first half.
Yeah, but in the second half, 5:20 remaining. They're down, 5? They have 1st and 10 at the Packer 49. Mm-hmm. And that was when the interception occurred.
Yeah.
Just thought, at the point, I thought they can just run the ball in the rest of the way. I mean, and running would make sense because it would have given the Packers less time.
But again, I mean, as we know, well, no, that's any coach that has a quarterback like that.
Yeah.
How many times was it, whether it was Mike McCarthy, whether it was Matt LaFleur,
right.
Oh, we want to run the ball more. When you got a guy like that behind center, it's hard to run the ball because he can make so many special things happen.
Put the ball in your best player's hands.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you always hear.
Yeah.
And when you have a great quarterback like Pat Mahomes, you're going to do that. And sometimes it ends up beating you. And that's what happened tonight.
Yeah. And by the way, that's the way we're trending with Jordan Love. Put the ball in Jordan Love's hands because he's making great decisions with the football.
Oh, what are you saying?
I'm saying.
What are you saying?
I'm saying put the ball in Jordan Love's hands because he's one of the best offensive players. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, I agree.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's Pat Mahomes. I'm saying for this Green Bay Packers team, he was better than
Pat. Hey, I'll say this: he was better than Pat Mahomes tonight.
Yeah, played better.
Yep,
didn't turn the ball over.
Markedly.
I'm not going
better.
there, but he's the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
He was the best quarterback on the field tonight with the two-time MVP, two-time Super Bowl champ. That I'll say. Ain't anybody going to argue with me on that.
No.
Nope.
Because he's just making great decisions with the football. And it just seems like,
Gabe,
I don't know if it was the conversation that Matt LaFleur said they had about him letting it rip, but ever since Matt LaFleur said, hey, this is the conversation we had, to me, Jordan Love has taken a step forward.
Dude, I'm going to say this. I said this last week. I've said it all throughout Wilde and Tauscher last week. His anticipation and throwing the football before guys are breaking, understanding what coverages are, and accuracy. The accuracy is coming because he is so decisive and understanding where he wants to go with the football as the play's developing and then seeing it and trusting it and letting it rip. It is so much better. I just keep thinking back to the swoon of October where he's spiking the football in front of running backs out in the flat and thinking, what are we doing? To now watching him throw BBs to Watson over the middle or Kraft. There's still misses. He missed Kraft tonight on what would have been a wide open big play. He put a little too much pepper on it. But he just is seeing things better. He's being decisive with the football, and you're seeing his accuracy and his completion percentage going up because he knows where he's going with it, and he's trusting himself to let it rip.
800-990-3776. Let's quickly go out to Bo in Madison. Bo, you're on Green Bay Game Night with Homer, Gabe, and Tausch.
Hey, Gabe, Homer, and Tausch. I got a question for Tausch. How did you evaluate the offensive line play tonight with all the substitutions that they did?
Yeah, until I look at it and then I talk to Dr. Balaga on Wednesday, I think Sean Ryan, you just continue to see his pop in the run game. And I thought the left tackle rotation tonight, I saw a couple times there was some push back into where Jordan Love was, but all in all, against, by the way, a group that has been very salty getting after the quarterbacks with the big fella, 95, causing all kinds of problems. He made a few plays tonight, But I thought this group and the fact that they're rotating guys, it just continues to give really good, clean pockets to allow Jordan to be that decisive quarterback that he wants. I still wish from the run game, I thought we saw some really good things, especially with the jet sweeps and everything else. But I thought A.J. Dillon had room to move. It wasn't a lot of guys in the backfield getting after him before he got started. So I think the biggest reason Jordan Love has been as good as he's been the last month, the offensive line has made huge strides in giving him the time to get that done.
I'll join that club.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I would agree with that.
They're just so
they're just so much better. They're better.
Yeah.
Right.
And Homer, it's because I think a lot of it's just health. You don't realize Elton Jenkins missing and having to go down another notch and then try to piece it together with a left tackle that you hadn't really played with. You're just asking guys to do a lot and then you have a young quarterback. And looking back at it, we should have probably been even more forgiving because those guys were put in a position. It was just a tough spot to throw him out there. And then when Elton came back, he wasn't himself. Now he is. He's back playing at that high level that he is. And Zach Tom, once he got through that short week and he's been healthy, he's a dog. I mean, he's just a really good football player. That makes everybody else's job easier. And, of course, that makes Jordan Love's job easier, and that's why we're seeing him have the success that he's having.
Yeah, Chris Jones, 2 QB hits tonight, no tackles.
Yeah, they did a great job on him.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the premier pass rushers in the NFL. That is a guy who can wreck games. And earlier this season, a guy like that was wrecking games. It ain't happening anymore.
You nailed it. Yep.
Ring the bell, tip-tap for Green Bay's pro team this football season. Salvation Army salutes bell ringers this upcoming holiday season, asks you donate into the Red Kennels or electronically with tip-tap. Your support helps those in need throughout Wisconsin. Let's go ahead and get to it before Tauscher gets out of here. Let's get to our dogs of the game.
We got dogs. It's time for the Sit Mean Sit.
Yeah, we got dogs, you hear me?
Dog of the game.
John Money Alexander. Christian Watson. Quay Walker. He's a dog. Aaron Jones. Kenny Clark.
Presented by Sit Mean Sit Dog Training in Waukesha and Milwaukee. Visit sitmeansit.com.
All right, Tausch, lead us off. Who is your dog of the game?
Well, I'm going to leave the low-hanging fruit to you guys.
You always
again.
do, and we appreciate it.
What is the low-hanging fruit in this game?
Jordan loves the low-hanging fruit.
I wasn't going to pick him.
To me, the play of the game, and there's a couple of them, the interception and what Keyshawn Nixon did tonight. He had the big return, 35, 40 yards, whatever it was. But drawing that penalty, too, on the fake touchdown at the end, and I think he got into a squabble with the dude and ended up getting punches thrown and got Pacheco thrown out the game. But that interception, the ball skills on that were phenomenal. And that play, I think, sealed and was able to win the football game tonight for the Green Bay Packers. I think he is my dog of the game tonight.
Home slice?
Well, why do you not like low-hanging fruit? You know who I'm picking.
I leave it to you guys for that.
Are you going to take Jordan Love? Because somebody has to take him. If you're not taking him, I'll take him.
You can. I'll take him.
All right, then I'm taking Joe Barry. Again, field goal, touchdown. Those are the first 4 drives of Kansas City. The last 3 and out, interception, out on downs. That's how they won the game. As great as Jordan Love was, and he's being taken, they couldn't stop them. And with the game on the line, and in fact, as you know, they're going like, is anybody going to punt? Is there any? Either team's going to score every time they had the ball. The last 3 possessions, Kansas City got 0 points after averaging 5 per possession to that point.
I was waiting for your little bark there.
It's probably the appropriate dog for Joe Barry because I don't care how many times I pick him, people still have no confidence in him.
Yeah.
I will take Jordan Love as the dog of the game. Just, again, the way he starts. And Tausch keeps mentioning those doldrums back in October, and like it took forever for this team to get going. And then we would see them, okay, they can score a little bit in the second half, and they start to figure it out, but why can't they get started quickly? But those days are gone. This team comes out firing. They come out with fun plays, whether it's the end arounds or the reverses or doing different things to kind of get some momentum and some positive things flowing. And Jordan Love's just on the money.
And getting touchdowns.
Yeah. Finishing off in the red zone.
His completion percentage the last 3 games, 69, 69, and 68.
That's where you want it to be.
That's good enough. That is right where he should be.
It's right where you want it to be. 267 yards, 3 more touchdowns today. The one he threw. I mean, Christian Watson, hopefully that hamstring isn't going to be an issue because that could be the thing that ends up bogging him down as well. But he made some tough catches today, tough contested catches, took some big hits today, answered a lot of those questions that we had about him as well. But I'm going to take Jordan Love, 8 touchdowns, 0 picks during this Packers 3-game winning streak as my dog of the game.
I want to change. I want to change.
You're going to change?
Who are you picking?
Yeah, Christian Watson. I mean,
That's fair.
2 touchdowns is,
yeah.
And these are things that I didn't think. I can't speak for him, but I didn't think he could make these kind of plays and in those kind of situations. I thought he certainly can outrun people, and he's getting in the end zone. He's scoring touchdowns. The reason they're scoring these touchdowns is because of him.
And he's making good plays.
Correct.
He's running good crisp routes. He's doing all those things. So, yeah, because last year when he would score 2 touchdowns, it'd be like 4 catches, and they'd be huge plays. It'd be great. It'd be 4 catches, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 7 for 71. That means he's making those tough in between the hashes type of catches. He's taking some hits. He's bouncing back. He's answering a lot of those questions I think people had about him earlier.
And if he doesn't play like that, then Joe Barry can't have the chance to be the dog with field goal, touchdown.
Tausch, after the Packers win 3 in a row, after the Packers dismantle the Chiefs 27-19, you sit back in the recliner tonight, and that Tito's, man, that just got to taste so sweet.
I'm going to tell you this. I am saying I'm going to have my nightcap tonight before I call it a night with a Tito's handmade vodka. You can pour me in, Coach, from a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch. You can root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit, and that is Tito's. I'm going to probably go, people say have a Tito Rita, have a Bloody with Tito. No. Nightcap for me. I'm going to put me a little Tito's in there. I'm going to splash some cranberry, and I'm going to call it a night. You guys can go to Tito's.
Well, wait a minute. Feel free to call in when you want to say they're going to the Super Bowl.
I'll talk to you tomorrow about that. Tito'sVodka.com, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Come on,
I'm not saying it. Here's the deal. I'm going to close up. I'm not there yet. But all I'm going to say is,
he's getting closer.
After a win like tonight, and with what this team, where they're trending and how they're playing, nobody, and that includes the San Francisco 49ers, wants any part of this version of an improving Green Bay Packers football team in the playoffs. And now, isn't it funny? 2 weeks ago, maybe we could start thinking about playoffs. Maybe. This team's a playoff team. And nobody in the NFC wants to see the G&G rolling into town in a playoff game right now. They just don't. They would prefer anybody else because this is a dangerous, young, up-and-coming football team that has a bunch of young players that don't know any better, and that is a dangerous thing come playoff time.
Tausch, look forward to hearing you more. Tomorrow morning, Wilde and Tausch starts at 9 a.m. across ESPN Wisconsin.
See you, fellas.
I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be there, but he's definitely going to be at Wilde and Tausch tomorrow morning.
I'm saying he's going to be there.
Yeah, I'm saying he's going to be there.
Yeah. Quay Walker had 13 tackles, 4 solo.
Yeah.
Corey Ballantyne, 10 tackles, 5 solo.
Mm-hmm. They were active tonight.
They don't miss Jair.
No. Which, against this team tonight, against that team last week, not to miss Jair, I'm guessing that's going to be a hot topic. Jair Alexander.
No, they're tougher without him. They're a tougher team. I mean, if San Francisco's worried, it's because for the first time,
San Francisco's not worried.
But I'm saying
San Fran's not worried about anybody.
The Packers are a tougher team now.
I'm not going there.
Okay. I didn't say they were a tough team.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can give up 6 yards per carry and consider yourself a tough team.
I don't know. You watch them. They don't miss it. They have some hard hits. They used to have none.
Yeah. There's more of that, sure, but 6 yards per carry is a lot. But he's still, but again, that's part of Joe Barry. He has no interest in stopping the run.
If anybody says...
Because he doesn't believe that running is important in today's NFL.
Correct.
Which he may not be wrong.
Or he thinks I can stop it inside the 20. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
we can hold the field goals. I don't know, but...
I can tell you one of the things that prevents the majority of people from going there now and thinking they're good enough to make the Super Bowl is one name. Joe Barry. Like, you can't, against good teams, there's just not a belief that you can have that weakness and keep winning.
But shouldn't there be more of that belief?
There should be, yes.
Because they just beat good teams in back-to-back weeks.
Correct. Yes, there should be more, but
they got off to really good starts in both. And I think that is important for Joe Barry's defense. You have to get off to those quick starts.
And that's tougher to do it in the
with
playoffs.
that defense, with the weapons that they have, especially with like Rashawn Gary and guys that can get after the quarterback. Having that lead, I think, is important for that team. 800-990-3776. That's the Botobox One line. Your calls, your texts, your tweets. They're all coming up next on Green Bay Game Night.
We're back with Green Bay Game Night after this on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is so good and smooth, you can mix it with anything. Now, hear us out. If your usual brunch cocktail sounds like a Tito's Bloody Mary stacked with garnishes is more like Tito's. Sounds pretty good. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey. Riding with you every mile since 1977.
Hear that? It's the sound of a winning December at Potawatomi. Play with your club card December 7th, 14th, and 21st. The more you play, the bigger your share of $400,000 in reindeer rewards. And like a classic Midwest winter, the wins can really pile up. Dash to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee for your reindeer rewards. $400 grand worth. Learn more at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, a group of doctors I trusted with my knee surgery. The pain was real and options were important. My experience with each doctor was thorough, the appointments were timely, always close and easy access to the building. My mom felt the same way, I know, when she went there for her physical therapy appointments at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. I trusted their surgical team for my knee surgery, and I know they'll take care of you the way they did my mom and me. Make an appointment at orthowisconsin.com.
The Brewers annual clubhouse sale returns for 2 days only, Friday, December 1st and Saturday, December 2nd from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Head to American Family Field to save up to 80% on Brewers apparel, game-used items, and memorabilia. Plus, get a free Brewers water bottle or tumbler when you spend $100 or more while supplies last. It's the Brewers' best sale of the season, right in time for the holidays. Don't miss out.
Santa's back. Back again. Santa's back.
That's not a Christmas song, Dad.
That's true, Sid, but I'm celebrating our ESPN Wisconsin Racine Danish Kringles Jingle for Your Kringle contest on Wilde and Tauscher, where you could win Kringle for a year. It's back for another year.
Can I enter?
Sure, anyone can. All you have to do is submit your own original jingle to celebrate the holidays and Racine Danish Kringle to ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Then we'll pick the most creative songs, and our grand prize winner will get Kringle for a year. There's only one requirement. Make sure you include Racine Danish Kringles. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition in your jingle. Or if you don't want to sing, but you still want to celebrate the holidays with the Racine Danish Kringle, call 800-4DANISH or visit Kringle.com and order their all-new Holiday Stick Sampler.
Sweet dreams of holiday Kringle, Mary Berry and apple. apple and lots of icing too.
Sid, what are you doing?
I'm working on my jingle. Kringle, I love you.
Do you check your savings account and wonder if you're even saving at all? At Town Bank, we view banking differently and actually want to see your savings grow. With our amazing new CD rates, you can now earn even more, so you can sit back and relax. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start earning more. Go to townbank.us/locknewrates or visit a Town Bank branch nearest you today. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
This is Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Here come the Chiefs. Pressure's on. Love, throw. Enzo Watson. Oh, did he catch that? He did, but there is a flag down. What a grab by Christian Watson. And I think it's going to stand.
Rum Chata is the perfect blend of rum, cream, cinnamon, and vanilla flavors, the finest ingredients carefully selected to create the world's finest liqueur, combining premium Caribbean rum, the highest quality dairy cream sourced right here from Wisconsin, and Mexican spice. Rum Chata offers a solution for any occasion. And backed by popular demand, Rum Chata Peppermint Bark is now in stores for a limited time. Rum Chata, have your unusual bottled in Pewaukee.
800-990-3776. Join us on the Boda Box Wine Line. Green Bay Game Night. Homer and Gabe with you for the rest of the night. Jason Wilde going to be joining us in about 40 minutes. Let's go to Mo in Illinois. Mo, you're on Green Bay Game Night.
All right. Hi, guys. Just got out of the game. Very electric atmosphere. Very excited. And I want to make one thing clear.
Can I ask you something, Mo? And,
yes,
and maybe how many games do you get to go to a year? Are you a season ticket holder?
I'm not a season ticket holder. I went to the Rams game a few weeks ago, and then I went to this game.
All right. Because just watching on TV, it seemed like the crowd was louder today than any game I can think of in recent memory at Lambeau.
Yes, that is very accurate. It was incredibly electric, and there was a good number of Chiefs fans there. So despite that, the atmosphere was electric. The fans have finally bought in. They're believing. A lot of people are standing up. There's no more sitting, so I love that part. So you're right. But as I told you guys, this team is beginning a run, and I said they would beat the Kansas City Chiefs, to no surprise. I have a few takeaways, though. First of all, Matt LaFleur's play calling has gotten significantly better. Like, seeing it up in person, the play designs that he has, like, before the play even starts with all, like, the moving parts on offense, a lot of motion, it really confuses the defense, and it was a treat to watch. On top of that, I'm very proud to say that we do finally have our guy. I think Tauscher said it after the game ended. It's not about if we have our guy, we do have our guy. It was very evident person. Jordan Love is the real deal. And the last thing I'll say is we have to give credit to this defense. Like, yes, Joe Barry has his flaws. He had his flaws in the past. But he is doing an excellent job. That is back-to-back weeks now where they beat a very tough Lions team and a very tough Chiefs team. There's no doubt the Packers are going to run the table. I want to make that very clear after winning these last two games. The Packers will run the table. It's not if, it's when.
So you're going, like, running the table as in the rest of the regular season?
Just regular season. They'll get to 11-6, and depending on who they match up in the playoffs, I'll make a prediction once I find out who the opponent is.
Okay. So you 11-6. I mean, that probably gets you to the 5. I mean, you'd be in the mix probably for 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have a real good chance at that NFC South winner, whoever that ends up being. All right, Mo, we appreciate the call. Join the conversation, 800-990-3776. That is the Boda Box Wine Line. This coming in on a tweet from Todd in Chicago. Bears season ticket holder neighbor was over for the game. He laughed. So, 3 in a row, huh? Floating on the tears of Bears fans. And I did see that from Big Cat, from Barstool Big Cat, who joined us last year in the season finale of the Packers season, joined us here on Green Bay Game Night. Mm-hmm. Pretty much just celebrating that the Packers lost to the Lions, didn't make the playoffs. he seems resigned that the Green Bay Packers are going to make the playoffs.
Everybody should be.
Yeah. They absolutely should be.
I mean, it doesn't seem to make sense given whatever you thought earlier in the season, myself included, but that doesn't matter. Now it's where they are, what they've played. If they don't make the playoffs, it's a huge disappointment given the standard that they've created, and
something would have to go horrifically wrong.
And then assessing the other teams and what likely is required. You assume, I guess, you'd have to get to 9. I don't think you get it in 8, but that just requires going 3-2 in the last 5 games against bad or average teams.
It would seem as if there are 4 teams competing for the last 2 spots.
Correct.
And some of those teams are also in the mix for the 4th spot because they're NFC South teams. But, I mean, Minnesota, Green Bay, LA, Seattle are all 6-6, and then you have Tampa Bay, New Orleans at 5-7. Technically just a game back of the Falcons, who are 6-6. So a lot of teams still alive in that NFC, but 4 teams for 2 spots. And you have the tiebreaker over the Rams, so that's a good thing.
Yep.
And you have a head-to-head. The Vikings beat you earlier, but you've got an opportunity to get that win back on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, the biggest games in terms of competition are Tampa Bay and Minnesota.
In Minnesota. Those are the 2 biggest games because those are also games that can give you head-to-head advantages.
Right, but I think if you win the other 3, you're going to make the playoffs. So,
yeah. I mean, you might be the 7th seed at that point,
right,
at 9-8.
And I'm not going there, but as Tauscher said, nobody wants to play you.
That's going to be the new theme. That's going to be the theme for the rest of Green Bay Game Night, isn't it? I'm not going there.
I just love it as a segment because I'm not responsible for anything I say. I could say,
that's what I said.
I'm not going there, but I think I could be president of the United States.
Yeah, you're going Ricky Bobby. You're going, no offense, but then you're going to say something offensive.
I can say whatever I want.
Yeah.
If I'm not going there.
Yeah, because you're not going there. You clearly stated at the beginning of the statement that you're not going there.
I've been doing this a long time. I can't believe anybody didn't come up with that before today.
No.
Maybe there are other phrases they've used.
I love it.
Yeah.
Not going there. But the Green Bay Packers are the number 7 team right now in the NFC playoff standings. Our dog of the game earlier was brought to you by Sit Mean Sit. If your dog doesn't always listen, if you ask yourself, why don't they listen to what I say? Look no further than Sit Mean Sit. You can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog. Contact Sit Mean Sit Dog Training today in Milwaukee or Waukesha to schedule a free consultation. Go to sitmeansit.com. Check out their Milwaukee and Waukesha pages. More of your comments on the Packers win over the Kansas City Chiefs at Lambeau Field 27-19. Coming up next, Green Bay Game Night.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Night will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Circus Sports is now available at American Place. Bet on your favorite Milwaukee and Wisconsin teams, from Wisconsin football and basketball to all the Milwaukee basketball action, as well as more games nationwide. The Circus Sportsbook at American Place has 36 TVs, so you won't miss any of the action. And it's just 30 minutes from Kenosha and 45 minutes from Racine. For more information and to find out about their events, go to circusports.com. All Circus Sports bets must be placed in Illinois. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text GAMB to 833-234.
Adulting in the fall means responsible spiking. For pumpkin spice or whatever your preferred fall drink concoction is, spike it with rum chata. It's a solution for any occasion. Rum chata is the world's finest liqueur featuring premium Caribbean rum combined with vanilla, cinnamon, and the highest quality dairy cream sourced from Wisconsin. Enjoy a smooth shot or a tantalizing spiked beverage with Rum Chata Original. And, backed by popular demand for a limited time, Rum Chata Peppermint Bark. Rum Chata, the superior way to spike and sip responsibly this fall.
Are you heading home from the game wishing you could just take a nap or even keep the party going? There's a perfect solution for you after every Green Bay football home game this season with Official Ride to Green Bay. Milwaukee Broadhouse, Jack's American Pub, and Wanakee Golf Course all offer transportation to and from Green Bay for each home football game day. Book your round-trip ride from any of these locations and get complimentary access to an all-you-can-eat and drink tailgate at the bar on Holmgren Way. Take the stress out of your drive home from the game and visit MilwaukeeBroadhouse.com to book your trip today.
For kids at the Salvation Army, a meal isn't just a meal. It's fuel for imagination, determination, and dreams. It's energy to be role models, change makers, and to just be kids. With your gift to the Salvation Army, a full meal is provided to a child, which leads to a full heart, a full night's sleep, and a future full of possibilities. Donate to the Salvation Army today, and you'll show local kids love beyond hunger at samilwaukee.org. That's samilwaukee.org.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results Mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to Mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at lowtusa.com.
Tired of power outages disrupting your life? Make them a thing of the past by getting a Generac home standby generator from Adams Generators. Adams Generators is the largest and #1 rated Generac dealer in Wisconsin. With 24/7 emergency support, our factory-trained technicians are standing by to assist you. Visit adamspower.com/generators to make sure your power always stays on. That's adamspower.com/generators.
'Tis the season to save at Fleet Farm. Save $10 instantly on any purchase of $75 or more for a limited time only with our seasonal savings coupon. Use it to save on gifts from brands like Milwaukee, Columbia, Clam, Lego, Ninja, and more, in-store and online. Gift yourself $10 off with the coupon that keeps on giving this shopping season. And have a Merry Christmas from your friends at Fleet Farm. Welcome back to Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
But there was the pull in the arm, so that's either side of the coin. It works out for the Chiefs. But Mahomes throws a pick to Keyshawn Nixon on the next play.
One of the plays of the game for sure. That pick led Tauscher to calling Keyshawn Nixon his dog of the game earlier in the night. If you happen to miss any of Green Bay Game Night, check it out tomorrow, wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. I'm Gabe Neitzel along with Steve.
The Packers are favored by 5.
That's
Monday
it?
against the Giants. I agree with you. I thought it'd be more. Nope, that's where it's starting.
I mean,
we'll see what happens after that. The pros.
I don't bet, but if I did, I think I'd jump on the Packers early before that line goes even further away. The Giants are bad. The Giants are a bad football team.
Yeah, you only have to score 10 to.
Yeah, I mean, maybe 13.
Right.
But that's
we'll
a team
see.
that
The
can't
pros
move the football.
take the open line, and then so we'll see if it moves. Because I'm like you, I think it could easily move to 6 right away.
Josh DiMaggio did a little look ahead at all the future lines. The Packers are favored right now in all the look aheads, except for the Vikings game where they're currently 3-point dogs. But every other game, so 4 of the next 5, they are favored, which is a vast difference from what we were looking at earlier this year, because I think the Packers were not favored in any games at the beginning of the season in terms of look-ahead lines. And now here we are with 5 games left. They are favored in 4 of their next 5 games. The injury report is brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. The biggest injury, obviously, really no update. We'll see if Jason Wilde has one when he joins us in about a half hour on Christian Watson with the hamstring injury. I have not seen anything. I do not believe he talked to the media afterwards, which is standard operating procedure. If you suffer an injury like that and do not return to the game, typically you're not going to speak to the media. If we do get an update, we will pass it along to you. The post-game injury report is presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com today for their info. And that would be huge. I mean, that would be a huge loss, the way that he has played the last couple of weeks. Because he has shown that he can go up, he can make those plays right now. The plays he wasn't making earlier this year, he is making them now, and you can see the confidence starting to grow within him.
And they're getting in the end zone because of him more as often as they are. He's the guy.
Well, with that big frame, being able to throw it up to him.
Prior to this occurring, it seemed like that wasn't something he could do in terms of going up and getting, and that's what you have to do in the red zone. Now, granted, he's had a couple where you're going, do they have 11 people out there? The one touchdown, one of the ones he had, I couldn't believe how open he was. And when you see it.
Oh, that was all offensive line, by the way. It was a long developing play.
Correct.
And it was a long dig route, in route over the middle of the field. Took a while to run, but he was wide open, and the offensive line protected Jordan Love long enough that he could get rid of it.
And Tash talked about it, but it's true. The offensive line has been good. They haven't just been good; they've been really good. He's had nothing around him.
No, he got sacked twice today. One was that last play. I mean, you got to get rid of it there. Don't force Anders Carlson to kick the 47-yard field goal, which fortunately he made.
But what was key to me was, and they didn't agree with it, but he took the sack so that how many seconds did that take off the clock?
Oh, yeah, instead of throwing it away, which I think he knew. I mean, because he kind of went down because he knew, so I can't throw an incomplete pass here.
If you're going to mess up, that's how you want to mess up. That had to take 20 seconds off the clock, or close to that.
Oh, it took a full 40.
Yeah.
Because you're on the other side of the 2-minute warning, which is why you pass, because if you get the first down, the game's over.
Right. I just thought they would roll him out, and then if he passed, it would be that short thing to the tight end in front of him or something like that.
The problem when you roll out, though, a lot of times, I mean, you're shrinking the field a little bit, and the receiver can get to the sideline, and it's going to be tough to stay in bounds sometime.
Yeah.
That's always the tough part when you're rolling out. But if he gets beyond the sticks, it doesn't matter if he steps out of bounds because you're just taking knees anyway. But I like that they were aggressive there and decided to throw the football.
Yeah, LaFleur's been more aggressive, and you guys do the all-22. But and I'd be curious, granted, the offensive line has been better, but they're just open. People are open all the time, and we had those stretches where we go, no one's open. So do you give LaFleur for running better plays, or what's the difference? Because
we had a caller call in about, the play calling was like, I think it was Mo in Illinois who called in earlier and was talking about how he thought the play calling was better. And, you see all this motion. I think it's just the players being more confident.
Okay.
And again, Chewy and I just look at 5 plays. I pick 5 plays that I think had a big impact on the game, and Chewy breaks them down. And it looked like earlier in the season, like if you were a guy who was the clear-out guy, you're not the number one read, maybe you end up with the ball, wasn't going full speed, not really busting it. So I think that guys have gotten more confidence. I think guys are now in the right spots where they're supposed to be. I mean, we've seen how many times early. Why are those 2 guys standing right there? Like, I doubt Matt LaFleur has that in the playbook. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to have 2 guys stand in the same spot. No, that's not in the playbook. That's guys messing up. I think guys are getting more confident, and with that confidence, they're able to play faster. And because they're able to play faster, they can get in and out of those breaks quicker and get themselves more open.
That's why I asked it, because I'm sure that could easily be the answer. But the one thing no one can argue with, man, they're open.
Oh, the discussion we had in October is how everything looked so hard.
Yes.
Just even to get 5 yards.
And even the way it looked last year with Rodgers some of the time.
Just, man, it looks so... Didn't look hard today. Didn't look hard.
No, I agree.
Looked easy.
And granted, he's throwing it well, and he has time, but that's why I asked. I'm thinking, you could have said, well, these guys were open long ago, and this one. I just don't think they were open.
No, they weren't.
Like they're open now.
They are. And I think that with the confidence that they have, LaFleur can be more complicated in his play calling. He doesn't have to keep it as simple.
Because I'm not able to see how many where they are on the list when he throws to them. It seems to me when they're on the list, they're pretty high on the list. Like if they're not the first choice, they're second. So I don't know how many times he's going through his progression. It seems as if it's pretty early in the progression that somebody's
open. And I wonder if part of it is this. With the way that the players decided to do the CBA and take away practice time and take away time that coaches can be with you in the offseason, and that's the win they decided to focus on, really the last 2 CBAs where they've kind of had that in. If you have a young team like this, it probably takes longer than it has in years past. Because, again, just talking with Chewy, mean, there would be times if you were a special teams guy like he was early in his career, you had 3-a-days. Well, not just 2-a-days, but 3-a-days. And with practice time being cut down, it's probably going to take, Tom Brady went off 2 weeks ago or whatever that was about development and young players. Well, my guess is it probably just takes longer because you don't have as much time as you used to in the offseason and in training camp with young teams.
And in some cases, it must never happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just don't come around. And this team, as time has gone on, they've been able to figure it out, even though they're a younger team. Jason Wilde going to be joining us in about 20 minutes. Do still have to get to our Purveyor Orthopedics specialist of the game here on Green Bay Game Night. But I do want to tell you that 24/7 sports betting is here in the great city of Milwaukee, thanks to the Potawatomi Casino Hotel and the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Enjoy the convenience of self-service kiosks, odd boards, wall-to-wall TVs, free parking, full-service bar, and numerous food options. Bet big, bet bold. Potawatomi Sportsbook at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel.
Did you say 24/7?
I did.
So I can head over there. Yep, Matt LaFleur. I don't know if I can get 100 anymore. I want to know what the odds are for him to be Coach of the Year. I'm only putting $10 down, but I think it's what I like to call a value pick. It's a long shot, but
you got to love it. Got to love his chances.
I think he's got a chance. I'm not going there. No, I am going there. It's been a season of ups and downs and not ups. I mean, I should say, and ups now for the green and gold. And that's expected with a young roster, and everything's going up now. Something that hasn't been consistent, it's been up the whole year. Your pregame tailgating game plan. Stop by your local store and stock up for your tailgate with the Noka Boozy Iced Tea for those looking for a non-alcoholic option. Pick up Athletic NA Craft Beers and Liquid Death Mountain Water. Our guests at the Tundra Trio enjoy these products at our pregame tailgate all season in Green Bay. They had to have a blast tonight. Pick up Noka Boozy Iced Tea, Athletic NA Craft Beers, and Liquid Death Mountain Water for your next tailgate.
Your calls, your texts, your responses on our YouTube page, youtube.com/ESPN Milwaukee, where you can stream Green Bay Game Night. All coming up next.
More Green Bay Game Night coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Ho, 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 I need a window.
Baby, it's cold outside.
So where do I go? Ho, ho.
Come on, Santa. Go to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Now is the time to replace your leaky windows and doors. You and Mrs. Claus can get your new windows while putting no money down, no payments, and no interest for up to 18 months. Unwrap this gift now, but pay for it later.
More jingle that stays in my pocket.
That's right, Santa. Plus, our elves install year-round and in as little as 1 day. Pella offers lines in luxurious wood to fiberglass and vinyl.
Why not make a New Year's resolution today?
That's the spirit, Santa.
Pella now, pay later. Oh.
Absolutely. Put no money down, no payments, and no interest for up to 18 months. But you have to hurry. Offer ends December 31st. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 12/31/2023.
Homer here. There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. And Robert Heck Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds. Guys, these are diamonds. They're just grown in a laboratory, which speeds up the process. At Robert Heck Diamonds, you can get a 1-carat diamond for under $600 and 2-carat diamonds, many of which go for under $1,000. Manufacturer prices are dropping fast. And Robert Heck Diamonds wants to help you save money while also giving you a great product. Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. Stop in today. Robert Hack in Greenfield on Layton Avenue or Brookfield on Greenfield Avenue. And shop their whole lab-grown diamond and jewelry selection at roberthackdiamonds.com. Remember, great product, great price. roberthackdiamonds.com.
Do you check your savings account and wonder if you're even saving at all? At Town Bank, we view banking differently and actually want to see your savings grow. With our amazing new CD rates, you can now earn even more, so you can sit back and relax. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start earning more. Go to townbank.us/locknewrates or visit a Town Bank branch nearest you today. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
In the heart of downtown Milwaukee,
there's an all-new Potawatomi Casino Hotel, where there's a table waiting for you at 12 bars and restaurants, a winning seat at 40 table games or 3,000 slot machines, plus the thrill of bingo, full-service sports betting, and more. Are you ready to spark something new? Light up your senses at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Explore more at paysbig.com.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Here in Wisconsin, a good old-fashioned is an important way of life. And that's where my friends at Perky's Old Fashioned come in. Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Game Night, so here to tell you about the easiest way to put together an old-fashioned. Perky's offers both brandy and bourbon old-fashioned mixes. And get this, the booze is already in there. Just add the soda of your choosing, and you'll have Grandma Perky's Old-Fashioned in the palm of your hand. Perky's is locally made and great for get-togethers of all kinds. Get perked up and head to perkysspirits.com for your nearest Perky's location.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Mahomes looking Kelsey's way. Chasing behind, and he's sacked by Luke Van Ness out of Iowa. Just the second sack of the year for the first-round pick.
Per Rob Domofsky, Packers won as a 5.5-point underdog. Last time they won a game that big of an underdog at home, Week 17 of 2011. It's also known as the Matt Flynn game, where he outdueled Matthew Stafford after the Packers had wrapped everything up.
They're never that big a dog at home.
Correct.
That's the issue.
They were 6.5 points dogs in that one. They still won that game. Doesn't happen often, but they've been able to win a couple of times.
I would guess Favre and Rodgers might never have ever been that big a dog at home.
At home? I'm sure maybe early in the careers.
Correct.
You'd have to find something, but again, very early in the careers, much like Jordan Love keeps playing like this, how often is he going to be a 5.5-point dog at home? Never. My guess is not often.
Yep.
800-990-3776 is the Boda Box Wine Line. Patrick in Australia joining the program now. Patrick, you're on Green Bay Game Night with Homer and Gabe.
Hey, Gary. Hey, Homer. How you going? It's great timing. The Sunday night game's over here, like 12:20 p.m. I'm just driving home from work now, so thought I'd tune in. But, just such a great performance. I listen to Wilde and Tauscher quite a bit. Tauscher always overreacting week to week. Wilde's trying to keep a lid on it. But you kind of have to look at what they've done the last few weeks, particularly Jordan Love, and just go, well, how good is this? This is every time he gets the ball and he's looking down the field, you feel like they're threatening, like the offense is threatening. And a month ago, you were celebrating if they get a first down. I just can't believe how different it is. Like the receivers getting open, Tay Wicks sitting down in the zones, getting space. Like you were saying, Homer, guys are just open all the time. So I'm just, really excited. Another great win. I'll leave you guys to it.
Wait, were you watching? You said you're driving home from work. Were you watching the game while at work?
Yeah.
Attaboy, Patrick.
I got 3 screens, so I work for myself as well, so it's all right.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the dedication to the Packers. I appreciate the dedication to the program, Patrick. We always appreciate you calling in, man.
There aren't many games where the time is like this, so.
No. Well, but he'll have another opportunity next week because it'll be a primetime game for the Packers taking on the Giants on the road. Maybe you're like Patrick, but you're not in Australia, and you're heading home from the game right now wishing there was another way. Maybe you'd rather take a nap or keep the party going instead of being behind the wheel. There's a perfect and safe solution. Milwaukee Brathaus, Jack's American Pub, and Wanakee Golf Course all offer transportation on game days. They've got bus services with private restrooms and all-you-can-drink packages. Book your round-trip ride from any of these locations and get complimentary access to an all-you-can-eat and drink tailgate at the bar on Holmgren Way. Make your game day experience, a VIP experience with your official ride to Green Bay. Still room for the December 17th game. Book your trip today. GolfWanakee.com, WANAKI.com, and use the code ESPN23 for 10% off. We are going to get back to your calls. There are a couple of conversations we can dive into on this where people are chatting as well on our YouTube page, youtube.com/ESPN Milwaukee, where you can stream Green Bay Game Night. Doing all that. Coming up next on Green Bay Game Night.
We're back with Green Bay Game Night after this on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust. Men can be their own worst critics, especially as we get older and compare our current self to the younger version. The experts at Forward Healthy Lifestyles in Germantown help men with testosterone optimization, regenerative medicines, heart health screenings, weight loss, and yes, sexual enhancement services. Forward Healthy Lifestyles can offer regained energy and endurance, more muscle and tone, enhanced performance, joint therapies, and more. Change your life and stop comparing who you are now to who you used to be. Visit forwardhealthylifestyles.com for a free consultation.
Get your game on at the Island Resort and Casino with first-round picks of your favorite slots and table games. Bring friends and watch your favorite team compete on big screens. Grab Game Day Eats in T. McSee's Sports Bar. Or celebrate your team's victory in Horizon's Steakhouse. To book your game time at the Island Resort and Casino, call 800-682-6040 today.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're in the market for a full-size 8-passenger SUV, look no further than the Defender 130. And with the Defender 90, the 110, and this 130, there's luxury in the right size for everyone. And now is the best time to take advantage of a great offer like this.
For a limited time, get 3.9% special APR rate for up to 60 months on new 2023 Defenders at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Q Club of Wisconsin is a hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what do you have going on over there?
That's right, Gary. We've got so much going on here. And of course, you know we're your home for green and gold games every week. Plus, book our VIP area for any of your parties, which includes a private pool table, 2 shuffleboard tables, and 4 dartboards. And of course, our fish fry piled high on Wednesdays and Fridays.
All happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin, North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Check out QClubofWisconsin.com.
You heard the final whistle. That means the postgame is ready to roll. This is Green Bay Game Night, powered by ESPN Wisconsin. Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios in downtown Milwaukee. Alongside Homer and Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher, here's Gabe Neitzel.
Third and final hour of Green Bay Game Night. We're celebrating here in the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios because the Packers are now 6-6 after their 27-19 win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Jordan Love, big game for him, 25 of 36, 267, and 3 touchdowns. You can be a part of the conversation at 800-990-3776. That is the Boda Box Wine line if you want to have your reaction to the Packers winning 3 in a row, evening the record at 6-6, and now being firmly in the playoff hunt.
Firmly in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, to me, they're a playoff team.
And something has to go so bad over the final 5 games not to be a playoff team.
Yeah. And I understand they're young and all this, but you've assessed how they've played. And they're just... what they've done shows you that, and you can go back and look at games where when they lost, it was always close. They haven't been blown out much. Their point differentials, they're like 25 plus 25 or something like that. So all the signs, it's not as if it's just these 2 games. But yeah, I think that 3 wins would probably get them in. So they're in a position where they don't even have to be perfect. They can screw up. They could lose to the Giants and make the playoffs.
Well, that's what winning today does for you. It gives you a little bit more leeway, even though it wasn't an NFC game and it's not going to help you in. But again, if you lose today, now you find yourself in a group with Tampa Bay and New Orleans, and you've got to fight to climb to get even with Seattle, L.A., Minnesota. To have that tiebreaker with L.A. mean anything.
You got to be close to perfect.
Yeah.
Now, Well, they could be young. Yeah, they can be young, play like a young team, shock everyone with how bad they look, and they're still fine.
Yeah, if they would have lost today, 4-1 is probably what you needed to do down the stretch, which is, I think, what they're going to do anyway. I think they're going to go. I don't know which game they're going to lose, but this is a young team. I don't expect them to be perfect down the stretch. Wouldn't be shocked if they drop another one along the way. But if they go 4-1 down the stretch, that's 10-7.
Yes.
But I think that's kind of what we're all expecting at this point. I think 4-1 seems to be the expectation.
Yeah, I'm at 3.5. I look at it more like I don't see any way they can do less than 3. I just can't see how, like you said, something just crazy would have to go wrong. And I think,
well, I know what that would be. And
somebody gets hurt.
Yeah. And I think we know who that someone would be.
Yeah, Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't want to say it out loud.
As a jinx?
Well, no, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to put that out there. I don't want to manifest it accidentally.
No. Well, it's
because he's been that good.
Right. Yes. That you can now say that because he's that good. In the past is, let's see what Clifford can do.
Did we think, yeah, when he's completing 53% of his passes for 182 yards in a 17-13 loss and 3 picks against the Raiders going,
Yeah, and now the people said, like Aaron Rodgers, his first year through 12 games, the numbers are incredibly similar to Jordan
similar.
Love.
But even for Jordan, he's gotten up over 60%. He's at 61.3% completion percentage, which, I mean, there were times during October, which was so tough, where they did not win a game in the month of October. And you're going, oh, I mean, if he gets above 60%, I guess that's pretty good. You know, maybe going forward. No, I mean, he's
the last
cruising.
3 games, like 69, 68. He had played a number of games, so you thought it's going to be tough to move that up real quickly.
Yeah.
Because you've played so many games. And in fact, because his numbers have been so good, he has, in fact, moved it up. I remember the discussion before, and it's true. You can't win in the NFL throwing under 60%.
No.
Just no one can.
Because you got to be consistent with the passing game.
Right.
And in order for the passing game to pay off, you got to be above 60%.
And 60% is easy now for him.
Yeah. I mean, when you go back to the streak that they've been on, 4 out of their last 5, obviously 3 in a row. Against the Rams, 76.9%. Third 2 picks, 52.5% in the loss. Okay, that makes sense, 52.5. Last 3 games, 67.5, 68.8, 69.4 tonight. With also, and because when you're completing that many passes, then that average goes up as well. And that becomes more of an acceptable number than it had been. Around 6. Now it's up over 7.
7, yeah. Average per pass. Right. So that means you're not just dinking and dunking everything.
Nope, because they're getting good chunk plays. And he was getting chunk plays before, but it didn't really matter because the completion percentage was below 60.
And
now
way
all of
below.
that, and now all of that starts to matter, and the statistics look to be really, really good. Jason Wilde in Green Bay. He was in the locker room. He was in those press conferences. He's going to have some answers for you, and hopefully for us as well when it comes to the health of Christian Watson. Hopefully we get something on that coming up next on Green Bay Game Night.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Night will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Hear that? It's the sound of a winning December at Potawatomi. Play with your club card December 7th, 14th, and 21st. The more you play, the bigger your share of $400,000 in reindeer rewards. And like a classic Midwest winter, the wins can really pile up. Dash to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee for your reindeer rewards. $400,000 worth. Learn more at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 10 to 12 ounce or 10 to 12 count selected varieties Green Mountain or McCafe coffee, $6.99. 4 to 6 count selected varieties Northern Bath or Brawny Towel, $7.99. 57.6 ounce selected varieties Extra Laundry Detergent, $2.99. 1 pound selected varieties Land O'Lakes Butter, $4.99.
Look at those brats. You do tailgating right. Absolutely. Did you see the spread out there? You've got enough food to feed the entire lot. I'm splurging now and then hoping to win $700 in free groceries. $700? Yeah, it's all part of the 70th anniversary at Century Foods. No kidding. Next week, I'll do the shopping. Maybe I'll score $700 in groceries. All you need is the weekly code. It's on Century's Facebook or Instagram. Oh, I just remembered. I'll be out of town next week. Yeah, right, cheapskate.
Ends January 3rd.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. You know, I've played sports my entire life, been hurt a lot of times, but never had been injured until I had to stop doing the sports I enjoyed because my knee flat wouldn't allow it. I visited Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, where they took great care of me. I put my knee in their doctors' capable hands, and now I'm back in the gym, carrying my golf bag, pain-free for 18 holes, and playing tennis as often as I like with no issues. I'd recommend Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin to anyone. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Hey, it's Gary Olson here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? No matter the season, rain, snow, or shine, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is open for you. A top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. Just $35 an hour gets you a round and puts that summer feel back in your life. Book your bay at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com.
Do you check your savings account and wonder if you're even saving at all? At Town Bank, we view banking differently and actually want to see your savings grow. With our amazing new CD rates, you can now earn even more, so you can sit back and relax. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start earning more. Go to townbank.us/locknewrates or visit a Town Bank branch nearest you today. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
Tired of power outages disrupting your life? Make them a thing of the past by getting a Generac home standby generator from Adams Generators. Adams Generators is the largest and #1 rated Generac dealer in Wisconsin. With 24/7 emergency support, our factory-trained technicians are standing by to assist you. Visit adamspower.com/generators to make sure your power always stays on. That's adamspower.com/generators.
Welcome back to Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
You need an Alabama miracle here. Mahomes going to buy the time, circle around, look, flip it up to the end zone. Kelsey down there, line of contact, incomplete, no flag. Packers win.
He is our friend. He is our teammate. He is Jason Wilde. Joins us each and every Green Bay game nights. He is live in Green Bay. Was at the game tonight. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Doing great.
Awesome. They're the playoff Green Bay Packers. They're going to the playoffs, right?
Hard to imagine them not doing so. Now, this great opportunity for you to apologize. Great opportunity.
I already did.
Okay, but I wanted you to again.
Okay, that's fine, yes. When I said that talking about them making the playoffs was just off the charts and needed to be waited on, then I didn't anticipate them playing, not only winning against Detroit, but playing as well as they did. So, yes, it was possible even then, given
I'm making a joke.
Playing that equality.
Hey, stop.
What?
Yeah, stop.
Well, they don't know it's a joke.
It is a joke. I'll explain it if you'd stop talking.
I thought I had to apologize.
So but you don't.
Okay.
When I said that to you on Green Bay game night after the Chargers game,
right?
I thought there was a chance they could win one of these two. The fact that we're sitting here at 12:48 in the morning, talking about a Green Bay Packers team that has not only won 4 of the last 5, but has now beaten in back-to-back games the NFC North leader and the AFC West leader, two of arguably the best teams in the league, in succession. And the way they've looked doing it is mind-boggling to me. Like, this is a completely different operation than it was when they were sitting at 2-5 and had lost 4 in a row. And I'll say this: I joke about how everyone swings with the pendulum, whether it's about the team or about Jordan. But there were plenty of people that were getting after Matt LaFleur when they were 2-5, and there were, Vegas had him as the next coach to get canned after the Raiders got rid of Josh McDaniels. And I'll tell you what I'm watching, and it's a little different when they're at home and I'm up in the press box, because obviously I don't do that for every road game anymore. Watching guys schemed open after one of the criticisms that we were saying was that it doesn't look like they're scheming anybody open, right? The whole idea of this offense is for guys to be running across the countryside wide open. Well, guess what? That's what they're doing now. And I thought Matt LaFleur, although I couldn't get him to do his Jim Mora imitation, which was very disappointing, and that will be my goal tomorrow, about playoffs, I thought he said some really, really interesting things tonight about the idea of how he didn't trust these young guys not to screw things up, basically, was the message. And so he was conservative. He kind of took offense when Pete Doherty from the Green Bay Press-Gazette suggested that he had taken the training wheels off the offense. But if he doesn't like that phraseology, that's fine. But what they've done is he has basically said, blanket, I'm gonna see if these guys can do it. And he's trusting his quarterback to make good decisions. He's trusting the young guys to run the routes correctly. Jordan Love is trusting those guys to be where they're supposed to be. And this is what I envision this offense looking like sooner or later, with a play caller and an offensive-minded coach finding ways to make life easier for his first-year starting quarterback. But I will admit there were times earlier this season when I wondered if they'd ever be able to get to this point. And instead, and I thought it was the other thing that I thought was really interesting. I'm starting to sound like Tauscher with one of his opening statements, so I'll close it with this.
We'll get to Tauscher in a second, Jason. Don't you worry.
I can't wait.
Yes, it's classy.
I really felt like Pittsburgh was the turning point. I did not feel like that Rams game was that impressive. I really thought that what they did in Pittsburgh, even though they lost and even though Jordan threw the 2 picks at the end, I just thought they looked completely different. And after that game, I thought, they might be figuring this stuff out here. And I thought it was great that tonight Matt LaFleur stood at that podium and basically, and the quote was, "It just felt different in that game. I know it didn't come out the way you want it to come out, but it just felt a little bit different." And that's what I felt. And of course, after the game, he didn't say that, right? After that game, he said, there are no moral victories. But there was something that flipped with this offense and with his willingness to allow these young guys to try and do stuff that he was not permitting them to do. And I think that was the starting point for what we're seeing now.
What made him do it?
Well, is there another turning point there, Jason? Because I remember LaFleur talking about having the conversation with Jordan about he's just got to rip it. And I feel like since then, that's when everything's been opened up. He's ripping it, and so is, metaphorically, LaFleur with his play calling. He's also letting it rip.
Yeah. Yep. You're 1,000% right. And again, I think it's really interesting because, all right, so they've won 4 of their last 5 and 3 in a row. And the first win of those 4 was that Rams game, which, again, I think we all agreed afterward. Like, if Matthew Stafford plays that game, I don't think they win. And if you look at the way they approached that game, like, LaFleur still had the governor on him, right? Like, it was still, this kind of dink and dunk, very few air yards, stuff just beyond the line of scrimmage. Like, he did not feel confident that they could run the offense the way he has designed it. And I just think it's fascinating that we've gone from, kind of talking about in the offseason how this was going to look more like Matt LaFleur's offense. And then, because obviously with Rodgers running it, we weren't quite sure when it would look like his actual offense. And then for the first game of the season against the Bears, we got a glimpse of it, and we're like, oh, okay, this is what it's going to look like. And then it disappeared for a long time, and he clearly did not have any, or certainly not enough, faith in both his quarterback and the young guys around him. And now it looks exactly like what a Matt LaFleur offense should look like. But I think it's interesting that after a game that they won, with or without Matthew Stafford playing, that was when Matt LaFleur chose to say he's got to just let it rip. And I think that message was delivered loud and clear. I will ask Jordan this week. Matt talked about the Pittsburgh game being kind of a turning point for you guys. You heard him say, and you took to heart him saying, I got to let it rip as a quarterback. Did you counter that by saying, hey, Matt, you got to let it rip with the play calls. You got to trust me to do this. I'd be curious to know what Jordan would say about that, because there's no denying that this offense looks, and I said it to him, I said it to LaFleur in the press conference. I'm like, it looks different. It looks very different than what we were seeing early on. And he doesn't take a whole lot of credit, obviously. That's kind of his MO. But the fact that they are running the offense as it's designed, and you're seeing guys, I mean, you look up, if you're following the ball and you're not watching guys run their routes, you look up and you're like, holy crap, how'd that guy get that wide open? Like, there were multiple times tonight where, whether it was Wicks or Dobbs or whoever, and then you mix that in with some throws that were just incredible that they turned out to be successful. I mean, the one that Dobbs catches on 4th and 1, I still, it's an unbelievable throw to kind of guess where Dobbs is going to be, but like, Dobbs lost the ball.
There were a ton of Kansas City people. I don't know how none of them reacted to the ball.
Yeah, I don't either. So, those are all things that are all coming together for these guys. I still think that there are going to be some growing pain moments and a loss or two in the last 5 where you're like, gosh, I really feel like they should have won that game, and yet they turn it over. Whatever happens in those games that they lose them. But, yeah, they're sitting at 6-6. You go 3-2 over the last 5, and that could get really interesting, and they would be a playoff team, I think.
What do we know about Christian Watson and presumably his hamstring?
Yeah, he's been really impressive the last 2 games. Like, this is 4 touchdowns in 2 games. That's great. I've never seen a guy suffer an injury while giving himself up and kneeling down to stay in bounds on a play. That was bizarre.
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Right?
These guys put their bodies on the line every week, and I'm always reluctant to, be flippant about guys with their injuries or question injuries. Like, Jair Alexander, I don't know what's going on with his shoulder, but he's missing out on a hell of a ride. Like, he's missed 7 games out of the 12 they've played. And I don't know what his expectations are. I don't know how serious his shoulder injury is. So I try not to question it. I do see the frustration his coach has shown from time to time. But, man, for them to be doing what they're doing, and I'm sure we'll get to Carrington Valentine's non-pass interference at the end there. But the bottom line is, he's really missing out. As far as Watson, he's kind of like Ralphie's dad says when he gets the leg lamp, fragile. And hopefully this is not something that keeps him out a long time if you're a Packers fan or if you're Matt LaFleur. But hamstrings, we know how careful they are around here once you have one. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able, with one extra day, to be ready for the Giants on Monday night.
What, did he speak at all to the media afterwards?
He did, and he said it's his hamstring. It's the same one as it was earlier in the season. It's his right one. He doesn't know how serious it is, but you saw him grab his hamstring right away when you saw the replay.
Right, but he was trying to go down in the field
inbounds. Yeah.
Inbounds.
Yes, to keep the clock running.
So he's probably feels he's incredibly unlucky, or I don't know if he says like, well, what is this? I do the right thing, I mean, it seems like it's almost impossible to get hurt doing that, right? I don't think I've ever seen anybody. Have you ever seen a player get hurt?
Yeah, I mean, he stopped suddenly, and I get it, but the problem is,
but he didn't stop that suddenly. It was
true. The end where he actually died, it was extremely sudden. That's a Fletch reference. I think what my struggle is with him and why I want to be careful about what I say, because I don't want to run him down, is that we've had multiple incidents at the end of games now where you thought that he had suffered maybe a season-ending injury, right? I mean, there was the one where he injured his chest, his back, and his ribs, or whatever it was. Remember that one,
yes.
Gabe?
Yeah, he just landed on his back, and it was his chest, his back, and his head.
And then there was the one, was it in Denver, where there was the pass across the middle?
He was behind him, and he grabbed his knee, and it was like, you thought he was done.
I
because the way he...
right.
It's fair to think he'd get hurt playing ping pong.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that, but that's not a bad line.
Okay. Thank you. And that's not from Fletch.
Thank you for the clarification.
So, what did you guys think of the Wilde ending? Like, I'm trying to get my story written for the print edition of the State Journal, so I'm trying to kind of split my attention.
So,
it was
when you win,
these
things just don't seem to keep you from winning, and when you lose, it's like, there's always something to blame.
I'm so excited about the win. We haven't spent any time talking because the reason why it was wild at the end, Jason, was 100% the officiating. Like, the officiating made that game interesting, I guess. And Jonathan Owens should not have been penalized for the hit on Patrick Mahomes. Valentine should have been flagged for pass interference at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But this is something that's been going on in the league all year long. Like I did Darian Mel yesterday on ESPN Radio with Mel Kiper Jr. And Mel said that he couldn't watch the end of the Thursday night game. Like, he had enough. Like, he couldn't watch it because it had 19 penalties for a combined 257 penalty yards in Seattle versus Dallas on Thursday night. Like, this is something that's going on throughout the league, and the league needs to figure it out. Like, that's no doubt in my mind that the league needs to at least address this instead of pretending it's not happening. Because the officiating seems worse.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that Mahomes is going out of bounds, and that's a bang-bang play, but I agree with you that he put himself at risk to take that hit. I don't have a problem with Jonathan Owens. Yes, I mean, they only showed the replay on Sunday Night Football about 12 times. I mean, Valentine is there way early. Now, there's a joke to be made that he didn't have to do that because the ball was thrown to MVS. But the bottom line is that was clearly pass interference. But I'll tell you this, and look, I have a good relationship with Jordan. Obviously had a great relationship with Rodgers. I had a good relationship with Favre, except for the time we got into the screaming match in the locker room in 2005. But I've never covered Patrick Mahomes. I've never asked him a question. I've never gone to one of his press conferences. But I want to read what he said when he was asked about the no call on the pass interference. And I just thought, God, this guy gets it. I really like this about this guy. He said, obviously, the guy was probably a little early, but at the end of the game, they're letting guys play, and I'm kind of about that. I'd rather you let the guys play and let the guys win it on the field. It's a hard job, man, referring to officiating. When we're in that situation, I can't be wanting a flag. I have to go out there and win the game by myself and with the rest of my teammates. I just thought that's impressive because that's a great opportunity to bellyache, and plenty of people would have, and he didn't. Now, they're still a really good team. They're still going to be a threat to go to the Super Bowl. I get all that, so maybe this isn't a devastating loss for them. But I thought that was pretty good, and I just thought I respect him a little bit more because the easy call there is, yeah, there should have been a pass interference. We should have at least had a shot, from pretty close to try and get the touchdown and the 2-point conversion and force overtime. And he didn't, complain and moan about it. I thought that mentality was pretty impressive.
They get problems. They lack anything downfield to an explosion that they kind of used to have, and they know Mahomes knows
Tyreek
MVS
Hill
isn't the answer. So I don't know They don't really
Yeah,
have an
Tyreek
answer.
Hill ain't
do they?
walking through that door. Yeah. No, they don't. And look, I like Pacheco a lot. I was saying to Jim Polzine, I'm not sure there's many guys that I've watched, and I know there's a recency bias here, but it is jarring how fast he hits the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like
4-3, right? He's Don Beebe in the 40 time.
Right. It's just different the way he accelerates into the hole and then comes out the other side of it when you think this little tiny guy is going to get bottled up somewhere in there, and said, boop, out he comes. I was really impressed with him, but you're right. They just, and again, they're the reigning Super Bowl champs. They've won 2 titles in the last 4 years.
Correct.
So it's hard to argue with what they've done, but I do think, and whether it was Ted or Goody, I do think there's a danger when you have a great quarterback, when you think that they can elevate, mediocre wide receivers and tight ends into good tight ends and wide receivers, and good tight ends into very good ones, and very good ones into great ones, and great ones into Hall of Famers. I do think that's dangerous, because sooner or later you end up with the group that these guys have, the Chiefs, and it's not a very good group. I mean, I don't have anything personal against MVS, but he had a fairly big role on that team last year. They won a title, so I don't know how much I can criticize what they were doing. But this year, I look at them and their offense just looks out of sorts.
Well, Travis Kelce's not the same.
Had a lot to do with it.
Travis Kelce's not the same. I mean, he's still a really good player, but the reason why the New England Patriots were able to get away with having okay talent at wide receiver is because they had Gronk. And Gronk was one of the best tight ends ever, and that drew a lot of attention and gave a lot of one-on-ones to the outside. And the Chiefs can do that as well, as long as Travis Kelce is Travis Kelce. He's kind of Travis Kelce light right now. He had a couple of big plays today, but he looks like he's just kind of lacking the explosion that I've seen out of him out of the last couple of years.
Because
he's getting older.
Because he's in love. Oh, wait, no, that was Frank. Never mind.
Fletch.
Yeah, I would say he's getting older. I mean, he's a big tight end. He's had his body beat up.
You're not the first person to say that. It's just not.
Yeah, I think he's just kind of getting older. He just looks like he has a little bit of that lack of explosion, which, again, happens as you get older, especially at that position.
Right, Homer?
Well, I think it's different.
Homer maintains he was never fast, so he doesn't know what it's like to lose the speed.
I had a historically bad hamstring, and they said, surgery, no. You're slow now, and when you do the surgery, you're not going to make it any faster, so just live with it. So,
I've never heard that story before. That's pretty good.
Yes. I mean, you become an expert. Everybody, all you need to know about hamstring is how far down your leg does the black and blue go. And when it goes all the way down to your foot,
it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. Yep. That's all you need to know.
Before we let you go, Jason.
Yeah.
Anything else we missed from the game?
There's other muscles in between there.
The black and blue goes
but the
all
bruising.
the way down.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, the bruising goes all the way through the calf.
Yeah,
all the way,
it goes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you don't know.
No, I don't, and I'm thankful for that. I thought it was really interesting that one of the things that Jordan Love talked about afterward was we heard the word trust bandied about. We did not hear the word playoffs bandied about. I still feel like I was this close to getting LaFleur to do his Jim Mora invitation. He claims he does a good one. Playoffs! And he refused to do it. He said later. So now I'm going to try and get him to do it tomorrow. But Love did talk a little bit about the idea of going to the playoffs, and then he gave the one game at a time speech. But the other thing that we heard a lot about was trust. And I would love to explore this further with Jordan, if now that they're having success, if he will acknowledge this, but that not only is Love trusting, or is LaFleur trusting him more, but that I want to know if he would admit, now that they're kind of all on the same page, that he was really struggling, especially during the losing streak, with trusting that guys were going to be where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. We heard that phrase so often from his predecessor, but his predecessor would lose his you-know-what at guys for not being in the right place at the right time, right? And that wasn't Love's approach. And I've had a couple of people mention that he got after the receivers in the last couple of weeks. And that's not something that he does publicly, but behind closed doors, it sounds like maybe he did that. And I wonder if if he just finally said, all right, I'm going to trust these guys, and if they're there, great, and if they're not, and I throw a pick, to hell with it. We need to start opening things up. I'm really intrigued by how different they look, because, again, I know you guys would agree with this. It just looks so different than what we were watching, 5-6 games ago. It's so striking, and I'm not sure if I've seen a group metamorphosize the way this group has over the last 6 weeks. It's really, I wasn't sure they were capable of it, frankly.
And with this young a quarterback.
Yeah, I had this conversation with Craig Karmazin this morning on Sunday Karma. Now, I know, and he's playing great now. I still would argue that when you are coming off an NFC Championship game appearance, and I know they went to the NFC Championship game the next year anyway, but I still am not sure I'm a fan of when they picked Jordan Love. But, God, if this isn't evidence of how much better of a chance to succeed that a young quarterback has, as opposed to, and I know, C.J. Stroud in Houston's playing great, and they won again today, and that there are guys that succeed right away. But I look at the Bryce Youngs and the Mitch Trubisky's and all these guys that were high picks, Zach Wilson in New York. Like, I watched Jordan Love in that 2020 training camp sitting in my own section by myself in Lambeau. We all had our masks on outside. We're all in our own section. We couldn't sit by anybody else. And I couldn't believe how bad he was. I mean, you guys would always hear me talk about how not seeing wow throws. Like, I think I saw one
what
throw.
Was
off
bad?
Him.
He was
His accuracy was bad. His decision-making was bad. His velocity, he didn't step into throws and let it rip, as we've been talking about. Like, he was bad. Like, he was like Brian Brom bad. Like when Brian Brom got beat out by Matt Flynn in 2008 to be the backup to Rodgers.
Oof.
And I really I would say that to Jordan's face. And I would be curious what he would say back, because he just looked, and he didn't have an off season. It was a weird year. It was COVID, everything else. But even in 21, he looked a little better, but I would have never envisioned him doing what he's done the last 5 games. Based on what I saw those 2 years. And now he's fantastic. Like, his accuracy's better, his decision-making, his velocity, his letting it rip, all those things that I wasn't sure back then. I had an inkling last year as we saw some of training camp. All right, there's been meaningful improvement. Still wasn't sure he'd be good enough, but I saw some encouraging signs. But what we've seen the last 5 games, I just think it's really, really impressive. And if you're a Packers fan, I know everyone wants to discuss, well, what's the number going to be for his extension, and when are they going to do that, and how good is he going to be? Where's he going to be in comparison to the last 2 guys? I don't know any about that, but this is really exciting. This is fun, and it's not my job to cheer for the team. I do like Jordan, and Tausch teases me for how many times I say that, but I have gotten to really like him as a dude, and so I'm happy for him. But I hope folks are really thoroughly enjoying this. I tweeted out the standings and showing that the Packers, if the season ended right now, that they'd be the 7th seed. And, I understand Homer. It's one guy on Twitter or X. But he's like, well, I don't know, match up with the 49ers. Yeah, 49ers look great. But, man, oh, man, who would have thought that we'd be having these? I can't get over the fact that we're having this conversation now at 1:13 in the morning about a team that is now 6-6 when they were 2-5, and I thought they're going nowhere.
Most surprising season you've ever had covering the Packers. That's what I would say to you.
Let me think. I would say this. 2007 was probably. I mean, they went 8-8 in McCarthy's first year. I had made plans to get engaged to Paula in San Francisco on Super Bowl weekend in August, thinking, well, they're going to be better. Maybe they'll make the playoffs. The fact that they were playing at home for a trip to the Super Bowl in 2007 probably made that season slightly more surprising. but I won't rule out the possibility that what's going to happen in the final 5 games will allow that to surpass 2007.
Jason, we certainly appreciate the time. And before we let you go, I just have to prepare you tomorrow with Tauscher. So,
what happened?
New segment, historic segment, I believe, and I want to credit him. I've never heard anything like it, and I think Gabe.
So he prefaced it by saying, "I'm not going there," but then started to, fan the flames of Super Bowl talk.
Oh God, that's this is.
But he said he's not going there, right? Jason. So I guess it doesn't count.
Right. So when it was the playoff talk before, I think this was before the Lions game,
Detroit,
because then it became legit. Yes, but before they played on Thanksgiving, he was like, "I'm not saying, I'm just saying." So now that is morphed into, "I'm not going there," but that's his new angle.
Well, yeah, so he said, "I'm not going there," but you get in the playoffs, you get hot, you win one game, you win another game.
Nobody wants to play the Packers.
Nobody wants to play the Packers right now. Everybody but the 49ers would be scared of the Packers. These are all the talking points that you have to look forward to tomorrow on Wilde and Tauscher.
And I said it was reckless for anyone to mention the Super Bowl now.
And he said he wasn't doing that.
I'm not going there.
That's what you called my playoff talk, though, on this show. You called it reckless.
Yeah. Okay, and I was wrong.
So God Almighty, now that's just going to embolden him further.
Yeah, Homer has that effect on people.
We're doing the show in person together.
Oh wow!
I need to go home and go to bed because he's staying overnight. So he's going to be at the Tundra Trio with me tomorrow in person. So I'm going to go home and go to bed. And I'm going to be with him in person with his Super Bowl talk. I appreciate the warning.
Yeah.
So I at least know what I'm getting myself
But he's not
into.
actually talking about it, Jason. He's not saying
He's not. It's just, he's not going there.
No, he's not going
there.
I said you can go there if they win their last 5 games. If they go 5-0, you can go there. I think you could go there now and say, I believe the Packers are not only going to make the playoffs, they're going to win a playoff game. But I think it's reckless to go any further.
I don't think that would be reckless.
No, it wouldn't
I don't think
bringing up the Super Bowl now is reckless, and I'll apologize again if I have to, but I doubt it.
Hopefully, we get to apologize later this season.
You know what?
Yes.
I'm sitting in my office. Jim Polzine's finishing his column. I am looking at my Al McGuire statue that I have in here, where he's got his arms raised. There's not the dad from the Wisconsin guy giving him the finger, but anything's possible, right? Anything's possible.
Yep.
But
it's
reckless
not how I
might
would
be
bet.
strong. Irresponsible might be better for Tauscher, but reckless, I don't know. I look forward to you apologizing when we're covering a Super Bowl and I won't have seen my family in like a month, but that'll be fun. We look forward to it.
Thank you, Jason. Go get some sleep.
All right, fellas. Take care. Be good.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experience to all their valued customers. Boucher Automotive Group, riding with you every mile since 1977.
Our specialist of the game, it's coming up next, Green Bay Game Night.
More Green Bay Game Night coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Get your game on at the Island Resort and Casino with first-round picks of your favorite slots and table games. Bring friends and watch your favorite team compete on big screens. Grab game day eats in T. McSee's Sports Bar. Or celebrate your team's victory in Horizon's Steakhouse. To book your game time at the Island Resort and Casino, call 800-682-6040 today.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is so good and smooth, you can mix it with anything. Now, hear us out. If your usual brunch cocktail sounds like a Tito's Bloody Mary stacked with garnishes is more like Tito's. Sounds pretty good. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Homer here. There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. And Robert Heck Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds. Guys, these are diamonds. They're just grown in a laboratory, which speeds up the process. At Robert Heck Diamonds, you can get a 1-carat diamond for under $600 and 2-carat diamonds, many of which go for under $1,000. Manufacturer prices are dropping fast, and Robert Heck Diamonds wants to help you save money while also giving you a great product. Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. Stop in today. Robert Hack in Greenfield on Layton Avenue or Brookfield on Greenfield Avenue. And shop their whole lab-grown diamond and jewelry selection at roberthackdiamonds.com. Remember, great product, great price. roberthackdiamonds.com.
ESPN Milwaukee's Game Night. So I've spent a while telling you about Mentality because it works. Not just for me, though. Take it from fellow Mentality user Jason. He's got a new lease on life thanks to Mentality.
Process was easy. It really, truly was. And the individuals that work at Mentality, very helpful, very respectful. It was an easy out. You go in a week after, they give you the results right away. And once you find that you're able to do it, just that thought, the energy already picked up a little bit. Most of it could have been mentally wise, but knowing that, hey, I get to start this, it was incredible.
Learn more today at moteusa.com.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're in the market for a full-size 8-passenger SUV, look no further than the Defender 130. And with the Defender 90, the 110, and this 130, there's luxury in the right size for everyone. And now is the best time to take advantage of a great offer like this.
For a limited time, get 3.9% special APR rate for up to 60 months on new 2023 Defenders at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Get the gift of savings Friday through Sunday, in-store only during Fleet Fest at Fleet Farm. Get a $10 gift card when you buy $50 in toys for the kids. Take an extra 20% off all varieties of wild bird food. And save $10 instantly on any $75 purchase for a limited time only with our seasonal savings coupon. Shop in-store this Friday through Sunday for even more Fleet Fest deals at Fleet Farm, where we have everything you need for everyone on your list.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
You know, for me personally, it's just obviously I've had this game, circled for a long time. It's my first start. Obviously didn't play how I wanted to the first game, so being able to see these guys again and get the victory is huge. This is a great team win tonight. Everybody just balled out, so but it was an awesome win.
Jordan Love after the Packers' victory. Green Bay now 6-6. Winners of the last 3 in a row, 4 out of their last 5. 27-19, their victory over the Chiefs tonight. Time for our specialist of the game, brought to you by Prevea Orthopedics. Usually we don't have too many options for this. I think you got options for this one.
Okay.
It's either Keyshawn Nixon. I'm giving it to Anders Carlson, because I was not all that confident when they trotted him out there for the 47-yard field goal.
And they mentioned it was going to the wrong, against the wind, or the wind was against him.
Yeah, warming up in that direction, he struggled, was what Tirico had mentioned on the broadcast.
Yes, and there's a risk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the kind of thing you feared could happen
when
you go with a rookie instead of the vet, and he was Mason Crosby.
48-yard field goal, if he misses.
Correct.
You're up 5, and you just gave Patrick Mahomes the ball on the 38.
Correct.
Wouldn't have been great, but he drilled it. So I've got Anders Carlson as our specialist of the game. On Green Bay Game Night, it's brought to you by Prevea Orthopedics. Sports medicine knows power starts with the hips. With Dr. Michael Ryan and a team of experts in Green Bay, you get comprehensive and advanced hip care. Unlike anywhere else, Prevea Orthopedics, preserving your hips so you can pursue your goals. Homer and I give our final thoughts. Coming up next on Green Bay Game Night.
We're back with Green Bay Game Night after this on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Check out our brand new Hyundai dealership, one of the largest in the Midwest.
Step inside of our state-of-the-art showroom where you can view our new Hyundai models and some of our finest certified pre-owned.
We've also expanded our service center, staffed by our factory-certified technicians.
And right next door, we've started construction on our all-new Genesis of Waukesha dealership.
But we're not just building walls, we're building careers.
So if you're looking for a career with great benefits and opportunity for growth, Boucher is the place for you.
At Boucher, we ride with you every mile.
Ho, 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 I need a window.
Baby, it's cold outside.
So where do I go? Ho, ho.
Come on, Santa. Go to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Now is the time to replace your leaky windows and doors. You and Mrs. Claus can get your new windows while putting no money down, no payments, and no interest for up to 18 months. Unwrap this gift now, but pay for it later.
More jingle that stays in my pocket.
That's right, Santa. Plus, our elves install year-round and in as little as 1 day. Pella offers lines in luxurious wood to fiberglass and vinyl.
Why not make a New Year's resolution today?
That's the spirit, Santa.
Pella now, pay later. Oh.
Absolutely. Put no money down, no payments, and no interest for up to 18 months. But you have to hurry. Offer ends December 31st. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 12/31/2023.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Ortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sporked called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
In the heart of downtown Milwaukee, there's an all-new Potawatomi Casino Hotel, where there's a table waiting for you at 12 bars and restaurants, a winning seat at 40 table games or 3,000 slot machines, plus the thrill of bingo, full-service sports betting, and more. Are you ready to spark something new? Light up your senses at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Explore more at paysbig.com.
Tired of power outages disrupting your life? Make them a thing of the past by getting a Generac home standby generator from Adams Generators. Adams Generators is the largest and #1 rated Generac dealer in Wisconsin. With 24/7 emergency support, our factory-trained technicians are standing by to assist you. Visit adamspower.com/generators to make sure your power always stays on. That's adamspower.com/generators.
Hi everyone, John Miller here from PDS, a Converge company. PDS has been providing technology solutions and transforming IT for area companies for over 30 years. Today, we are helping organizations integrate digital workplace strategies that are giving today's worker the true ability to work from anywhere as they balance work and life both securely and productively. And as HP's largest partner in the area, our combined solutions have never been more important. If you're struggling with this, know we stand ready to help. From ideation to transformation, we can help you evolve your work from anywhere strategy. Learn more at pdsit.net.
Q Club of Wisconsin is a hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what do you have going on over there?
That's right, Gary. We've got so much going on here. And of course, you know we're your home for green and gold games every week. Plus, book our VIP area for any of your parties, which includes a private pool table, 2 shuffleboard tables, and 4 dartboards. And of course, our fish fry piled high on Wednesdays and Fridays.
All happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin, North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Check out QClubofWisconsin.com.
This is Green Bay Game Night on ESPN Wisconsin and WTMJ.
Have you thought about the playoffs at all this year? Because right now you are.
Nope. It's one game. We gotta. Now we have another primetime game on a Monday night, and the guys got to understand. You start winning some games, and people start gunning for you now.
Packers victorious. Everybody's feeling good. Feeling A-okay. 27-19 over the Chiefs. Homer, you got any final thoughts?
The playoff-bound Green Bay Packers.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's.
Yep.
Start looking at who they might play and talk about it and wonder about it. But they are the playoff-bound Green Bay Packers. They have earned that and what comes with it.
Well, it's exciting because the Packers don't play until next Monday.
Correct.
Monday night game against the Giants. But like that Eagles-Cowboys game could potentially matter. Cowboys win that game. Maybe that team ends up, the Cowboys or Eagles ends up being that 2 seed or that 3 seed because they'd be, a lot of those teams would have 3 losses. Depending upon who you would
start looking at everything.
Yeah. Everything matters now.
Yep.
Before, nothing mattered except for what you were doing. Now everything matters.
Where they might draft and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're starting to look through, just kind of page through mock drafts. Are they going to be early enough to grab one of these top guys?
You not only see them as the playoff-bound Packers, but they have earned the right to believe that they could win that first game.
Yeah.
So it's not just happy for them to get in. No, you watch everything because you want to see who they might play.
When you beat teams like that, back-to-back weeks, you start to believe you can win a playoff game.
Yes. And not only beat them, the manner in which they beat them. Neither was close. I mean, it wasn't like they won, but neither came down. You pull off an upset. You'd expect if you win those 2 or even one of them, you're going to have something crazy at the end.
Yeah.
You're going to kick a field goal. No, they just beat them like they were playing.
They were the better team both weeks.
Needed nothing special at the end.
Did not trail at all.
Yeah. And we say this is how good they were. Even with that horrible call with no pass interference, that was no guarantee that Kansas City was going to even come back to tie it. They had to score from there and make a 2-point conversion. So, playoff bound, follow it all closely.
Can't wait to talk about it tomorrow on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can't wait to listen to you talk about it tomorrow.
The doctor, man.
With Brian Bulaga. He's already tweeting up a storm, man.
I know.
He's excited for the Homer Hour tomorrow, Brian Bulaga.
Means the offensive line had a good game.
Oh, I think that was obvious to everybody who watched. Packers win 27-19 over the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll be back again next Monday on Green Bay Game Night.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home